YouTube is saying it's waiting for live. Let's see what Twitch says. If anybody is in here, what's up? Okay, we're live on Twitch. See if we got audio. Okay, Twitch got some audio. Twitch got some audio rocking. Let's see if YouTube got its ish together. I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now. Maybe it's my internet in the crib. Let's see how this audio is coming. Hey, looks like we're actually live on everything. For anybody who's tuned in, or who tunes in, all I'm gonna be doing here is watching some old episodes of the Miseducation of Music. It's Labor Day. I don't have work, so what better time to watch through my old podcast? So if you all want to watch them with me, this episode that I'm gonna start, the first one here, is the first episode we ever put up on YouTube. So like, it's not that great. As far as the editing, I edited all the episodes up until probably about like 80 something. We're gonna be jumping around today, giving commentary on these. We'll see if I leave this video up on the channel afterwards. I made a weird thumbnail for this video just because I was kind of bored and I knew I was about to do it. So, but yeah, feel free to tune in, jump out. You ain't got to stay in here. I'm gonna be just literally streaming this on Twitch and YouTube, just watching my old podcasts and commentating for them, just seeing what they are. This idea completely came from my brain because of boredom and nothing to do. So tune in if you're in the same boat. Let me get the chat up here so I can actually see shit. True, we're diving straight in. I wonder if I'm louder than the YouTube video. That's what I'm.
That's in the recording right now. Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of the Miseducation of Music. But today I'm
We're getting some lag on here.
not a liar because last week I was. I said we were gonna have a YouTube video
the audio is
on
that
YouTube
bad
for that
from
episode,
editing
and
this.
I wholeheartedly
This isn't even
lied,
the
and I'm
full
so
episode
sorry
of this.
because I could not get the audio to line up because I'm super bad at that. But I'm
Audio
learning.
still is not
So
lining up on
this
video.
episode is hopefully going to be up. I don't want to give anybody any more
This is
definite
rough.
on
I don't know
timing
how
or things
far
of
we'll
that
make it
nature.
through this. We might
So,
jump over to some of the
What's up and welcome back.
Zoom
We are
episodes.
here in the studio, still broadcasting from the edge. What is the end of the world? Is what we're calling it?
The apocalypse, the
Yeah,
you know,
We're
the
gonna
end of
switch over to
time.
an
The
episode
largest
I
tissue
know
shortage in America.
Was edited decently. Sorry, we're not gonna watch the first episode
Every
like I thought
episode
we were.
until it's not cool anymore.
This
'Cause,
episode
I mean, one of these
is
cameras is definitely gonna
episode 61. Stretch limousine sipping rose all alone from May 27th, 2020. Oh my god, that was almost 3 years ago. It's 2 years and some change. But yeah, this one I think is edited better. We'll see. I feel like this is when I finally paid for Adobe and figured out how to use that.
If we wouldn't get a copyright strike, we would play that music. But instead, you just heard the intro. If you
We were
know
definitely
what
listening to
song
Big
we were
Pimpin' in
jamming
the
to
studio
then,
that day.
this beat would let you know that we in this bitch. What's up and welcome to the Miseducation of Music. We're here for another episode, man. I'm excited. I'm just excited. I don't know why. This is fun.
It is fun.
That's what I'm saying. With the 3 cameras that we got in here, I'm gonna do that at the beginning of every episode until it's not.
I said
cool
3
anymore.
cameras on
'Cause,
this
I mean,
recording.
One of these cameras is definitely
Only
gonna
one
shut
camera.
off.
Only
So
one
like
camera
whichever
actually
one
made it to
shuts
the final
off,
edit
like
here.
at least we get the cool shot, you know, to
Only
think that we
one.
did 3 things. Oh, you gonna yeah. What? Oh yeah, those aren't the ones with the sticky part on them. Because if they
These
were,
the
then it
accordion
would have.
ones?
No. They're just straight paper.
Oh, straight paper.
Yeah,
straight
I'm weird. I don't like the sticky Post-its really because it's like I don't have enough space to stick those everywhere.
Right.
Like I make a lot of
So you
Post-its.
added tape to that one.
Yeah, because I mean, I just wanted. That's the only one. But I mean, thank you for proving that my theory is incorrect. That I probably do need at least one pack of sticky Post-its. But man, what's been going on lately? We need to
still
talk
have a
about
buttload
what's
of paper
happening
Post-its,
around here in
fun
music
fact.
and stuff. And this episode is going to drop pretty relative to when we're recording it, so that's actually pretty good too. This isn't going to be we're coming to you from the past,
Yeah.
which happens a lot.
Time travel. I don't know. I feel like recently my music taste has not my music taste. My music.
Yeah, how's quarantine just affecting your
I feel
content
like
take in?
I've run the gamut of my Spotify liked songs. I have two go-to Spotify playlists. It's my liked songs, and then I have a good music playlist. Not good music as in.
Yeah, I got
yeah.
like the compilation. I got like 500 songs in this playlist.
Yeah.
I have on my Apple, I have like a whole bunch of playlists that are like 600 songs, 700 songs, and stuff like that. But on Spotify, it's really just like I got this playlist.
I'm gonna
and
see
then
if
I
I
like
can
other
speed these
people's
up. We
playlists
might
on
watch
Spotify
these
a
at
lot.
1.5
At
speed.
this point, and like
That's what I
I don't even know
normally
if I'm looking for a
watch
lot of new
podcasts
right
that-
now.
oh, I
I've been
can't change it.
rediscovering old music.
That's what I meant.
That's what's been happening a lot for me in quarantine right now.
This
You good?
for people who are tuning
Got it.
in. This was
Yeah.
my
it's like
studio that I
yesterday,
had at my
last night,
last apartment
like-
during
I think that's
college. This is where the podcast kind of
before I
like
went to sleep.
became
I
a
was playing
thing.
Call of Duty Warzone, and I just put on my headphones.
Yeah, we made
Shameless
hella
plug.
tracks in
Shameless plug.
there.
Meet you in the gulag.
Yeah, they've taken over my fucking. I've deleted most.
But
of my
yeah,
games
this
on
is old
PlayStation.
setup.
That's intense.
There was a tweet today
Everybody
that I retweeted.
seems to be playing that.
It's fun because
Comb my
it's free.
beard.
Because it's like the same idea. Me too. Of what's that fucking Apex Legends and
Yeah.
Fortnite. except
Yeah, it's the battle
Call of Duty.
royale.
Jump out of a plane.
Jump out of a plane, you got a circle.
That's what it
That's
is.
crazy.
But I put my headphones on and I just looked up '90s playlist Gold School on Spotify. And I'm
Gold
just
school?
listening to.
I've never heard about that.
That's like their professionally made
Can I not sit
'90s
still?
playlist. So I was listening to like Blackstreet and fucking.
I like the way you're working.
Yeah, exactly. That song, yeah, yeah. Pooba, Grand Pooba, I've heard of but never listened
Grand
to.
Pooba?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Like a shit ton of like '90s like B-sides.
Wild
I was
fun
like,
fact
that's what I like.
for anybody
This was
tuning
a-
in: the microphone I'm
that.
talking
I've,
into
I've
right
been,
there
like,
in that episode
rediscovering
is
getting
this
back into,
exact
like,
same
R&B
microphone.
girl
Shout
groups.
out to my
Yeah,
homie
man,
Bob,
SWV,
who
hard
does
ass
the
on
audio
TLC.
and video for the
I was playing
live stream
Rain
that we
this
do.
morning, G,
He
and
printed
I was just
these.
feeling it so hard. Rain by SWV, cut. The cut.
I always remember that line in a Kanye song. He says, "I switch my girls around like 3L."
3L Dub, yeah. Adriana Bellon was in that group.
I believe so.
3L Dub, yeah, and the other girl from Cheetah Girls.
The one with the teeth.
Ouch.
What's
what was
her name?
name?
Teeth. Her name is Teeth.
Dude,
Her
I
name
don't
is
even remember.
Keely
Did we
Williams.
talk about?
I know that
did
now,
we talk
but
about the
damn, I
names of
kind
all
of
the
feel
Cheetah Girls on this
disrespectful for not
podcast?
We
shouting
didn't
her
talk
out.
about the Cheetah Girls.
Because
at some
like
point.
it killed me that like
This still gets me till
everybody's
this
name
day.
just made no sense. Like Galleria was the black
Galleria,
girl
Chanel,
who Raven
Aqua,
Aqua.
Dorinda.
Dorinda's the white girl.
Dorinda's white.
Dorinda's the white girl in that movie.
Is this her?
Aqua isn't Aqua the? Yeah, I think she
Those
might
names
be.
throw
Aqua.
me off.
Williams.
Yeah, her. She was
3L
in
Dubs.
3L Dub. Yeah, dude. There was one song by 3L Dub I was trying to play around with on a little sample tip that I was enjoying.
Wow.
But I mean, like,
I feel like back in the day,
Yeah,
the
dude, I don't
podcast was
think
far more
they
discussion.
Were they gonna stand the test of time at all? You know,
I
You
mean,
know,
And I
I
don't
don't
mean
know
that
if
in a
I should
disrespectful way, I'm
incorporate
just
this
like,
back or
the time
leave it where
period,
it was.
like,
I'm not sure.
I don't even know any other stronger. Like this was like 2002. It was like
yeah.
90s are past. Get out of here, platform flip flop.
There's really no girl groups anymore.
No.
It's kind of
Ooh.
old-fashioned.
This brings us to the first posted today. So, for the first time in Billboard history, the top 1 and 2 spots were held by women. Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj for their track they did together, and Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce for their track they did together. And that was the first time ever that women had the top 2 slots. That's crazy, dude.
What's the Doja Cat song?
I think it's called Save. So
What's the one?
maybe.
that-
Oh wait, no.
I got
What are
that
you saying?
sticky. I got that lunch. I got that bookie.
What
got
are
that
you
brunch.
trying to?
Dude, that song's amazing.
Dude, I like some of her songs.
What's the one, dude? It's the fucking one.
I have
The
no.
one.
What are you talking
The
about?
one Doja Cat song that's the one Doja Cat song. Nope.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Keep hitting them.
Keep hitting them.
Tyga. Why am I blanking? I played this song 45 times last week.
45 times.
Dude, I played it over and over again. Banger. Just pure banger, dude. I don't remember the name. What is it? Sticky? Juicy. Beautiful.
What is that? Damn.
Beautiful.
That is intense.
Beautiful.
I like her. I think that what is this?
I like her.
She is swell. I lost my train of thought through my arm motion. I think she's pretty cool. I mean, I want to see what else she does.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's got a lot of cool things. That
Man,
could be
follow up to
coming
that. Doja Cat went
especially
crazy.
doing collaborations with
Like,
people
I
like
really
Nicki.
enjoyed
Also,
everything
Break
that
Me
she
Off
dropped
remix,
after that.
she went crazy on that with
Man,
Ari
that
Lennox.
BMO remix
That
is
was really
fucking
crazy.
insane
She has
still.
this little, like, break me off, do it like a Kit Kat bang, and I'm like, oh my god, I like her flow on there, the way she hops on the track. Let me see if I can find a little piece. Yeah, right there, dude. Listen to how she just comes in. She playing with that beat. She is playing with that beat. Let me stop that before YouTube kills me. But like, like she plays with that beat so well. I love it. Like how she does the remix, but also just the speed flow in the intro. How she's trying to like just get across this exact same like line. That, I'm getting too deep into that one, but like. I really like the song "Break Me Off" by Ari Lennox. Like that was my favorite when the album came out, and to hear her on the remix, I was like, they did this like justice. Like it's better than the original. And then she did one with Smino on that album as well.
Smino,
he's going crazy.
But it's better than a Cheerio.
He
says that.
I believe it.
And I
dude,
went, whoa.
I believe it, man.
Yeah.
He's one of those people where his vocabulary is like crazy, and then he could also be accountable for a line like that.
Yeah.
Like it's like Biggie, you know?
Yeah.
It's
like your daddy's
is
dick.
is that just like a thing? Like people who are really good with words, sometimes when they dumb it down, they dumb it down too far, and it's just like,
I'll suck your dad's dick. Saying it is crazy.
Well, I mean, like, so
just suck your dad's dick.
Jesus Christ, can you stop screaming? I don't even remember what I was talking about. Yeah, dude, Smino does that all the time though, like saying crazy things. He has a song called Ciabatta, like, and I'm just like, how do you like? This is so crazy. The newest mixtape he released is called "She Decided." She already decided, and he was like, a lot of people are gonna. He even says on one of the tracks in the outro, he says like, a lot of people are gonna think this is like about a girl deciding whether or not she's trying to be with a guy, but this is about Mother Nature, and she's already decided if we're gonna live or die. And then it's like once you listen to it from that standpoint, it's crazy because he goes over Ron Isley, you know the drifting on a memory. So he comes in and it's lifted off the sticky weed.
Funny.
Ain't no place I'd rather be, and it's like crazy. It's dope, man. It's so Smino. I love it. So shout out to Smino. Shout out to Smino. Everybody over there.
We're gonna take a jump over to some of the interviews. This is kind of what ended up shaping the show and what it is.
I'm not gonna lie, it's really, bro. Like growing up,
we're gonna start off with this OG Steve-O joint. Keep in mind, I'm still a terrible video editor at this time in life right now, and at this time when this was created. What year is this? 2 years ago, July 8th, 2020. Let's ride in. The one thing that will always be consistent in the episodes I did is that intro music and these terrible slideshow intros.
Hello, welcome everybody to another episode of the Miseducation of Music. Today we are with OG Steve-O for the Creatives of Quarantine series. What's going on? How you doing, man?
This is one of the like
man?
7 episodes that
chilling, man.
Alex
How
did
y'all
intros
feeling?
for.
Feeling great. To be honest, this quarantine has been helping out my creativity a little bit. I can't even lie.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been trying to get more projects done. We've been putting out more content over here in the studio. Like,
yeah,
I'm kind of feeling good. I don't even want to, I kind of don't want to say it because everything that's going on, but
the world's burning, but it kind of helps.
The world's burning, but I'm smiling. Dude. Yeah. How's everything been going with you, man? How's quarantine been?
Quarantine been cool. Like, just like y'all said, like, I mean, being in quarantine has really just like made me just work on my penmanship. I feel like I've been with myself throughout the whole quarantine, like a lot. So I just been, how do I say, like,
in your mind,
I guess finding myself or self-actualization or realization. You feel me? So.
Yeah, man.
Man, we might have to loop that part. You dropping knowledge at the beginning, man. In the intro, you giving them the gems, man. Because honestly, I want to talk about that because I've been just noticing so much about myself. Like, I don't think I've ever sat with myself this long.
Yeah,
man.
Like,
for
just
real,
to be honest, I've never sat down with me this long.
For real though, this shit like how long we been on quarantine for now? Like 2 months, going on 3
like
damn
years since March.
Yeah, 10 weeks, 10, 11 weeks.
March,
dude,
April,
it is getting crazy.
Bro, we finna be some shit crazy.
This has become the real new normal, man. But look, before we get into more of this quarantine talk and what you've been doing and stuff, we got to give you some praise, man, because I myself also Northern. And of course, I was bumping OG graduation, man.
Hey,
you also
congrats,
graduated from this school, man. Congrats to you as well, dude. You graduated and you put a song out about it.
Yeah,
and it was cold too.
Yeah.
You had everybody dancing. G, I love that video. Who shot that?
LJ Productions.
Awesome.
LJ,
follow that guy. Awesome.
You follow him?
Yep, I follow him.
Awesome. Man, shout out to that video was awesome. I loved that.
It was LJ and then my other videographer Mo Films, but yeah, LJ has to go crazy.
Man, that was crazy, man. What made you say I'm about to do this track about graduation?
Bro, you know what's crazy, bro? Like 2 months or 3 months before I graduated, I told myself like I'm about to make a track when I graduate. You feel me? I mean, like I didn't think about shooting a video and all that extra shit. I'm just gonna drop a track when I graduated. But then I told myself, like, since I told myself that I'm making a track about graduating, it's cliche. I don't want to do it no more. I went to the studio like a couple weeks, I say, before I graduated, like probably like 3 weeks before I graduated, and my producer played like a beat that just sounded like a fucking graduation song. So I was like,
you were like, damn, I gotta do it.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck it, I gotta do this shit. After I recorded that shit, I'm like, this shit low-key kind of hard. And then like everything with the video, that shit just came like, I already knew like once OG graduation came out, I already knew how I wanted the video to look. I wanted scenes of me walking across the fucking stage, and I wanted scenes of me in the classroom acting an ass.
That's what I knew that saying, for a fact. You was out there in the classroom. I'm like, man, I took econ in there. OG Steve-O going
bro, you know what's crazy, bro? You know, I didn't even get like approved to use a classroom or anything.
I mean, hey, bro, you're a student still, you know? You was just using the place, you know?
Right. I'm just using the resources you guys provide.
Exactly, man. I don't think that's bad. You know, you paid your tuition. Like, you can go ahead and go in there and shit. Man, but that was so crazy. And then, I mean, even to bring it to something newer, that TechSoup video, I was telling you about that, G. I was watching that in the studio today. All of your videos have been so crazy, dude.
Hey, that's love, bro. That's love for real.
And that's off the new EP. That what's the name of it again? It's the
last OG.
Yes, the last.
The
OG.
amount of
the name
dead
of
air in between questions makes me
it, man. Could you explain
mad.
To them about the OG?
Makes me so mad about myself as someone who's
everybody
asking
has
questions.
their own definition of what OG means. You feel me? Like original gangster. For me, so OG Steve-O, the OG stands for original guap getter. Guap getting is a word I made up that, I mean, really speaks for itself, just getting to the money. You feel me? So much bullshit going around in the world and so much money out here in the world to go get. Motherfuckers need to go get that shit.
Why ain't you just chasing this bag?
Yeah, that's really what it is. You feel me? Original guap getter, a motherfucker who want to chase that fucking bag and shit.
And
So
it's not
the
who
last,
carries that name, correct?
I'm over here muted, man.
That's the first time I think I've ever said that.
Let's get this rewound. This is another episode from another setup, man. I'm gonna start counting how many sets I have on these podcasts, G. But yeah, here's another one. This is with Ananya in Austin. Some more Zoom stuff.
Man, we'll talk about the goddamn episode. This new shit.
We haven't even started that.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb. You are here for yet another episode of Nothing But Foolishness because we got Austin and Ananya in the building. Yeah. And I've gotten good at video editing, so their Instagram handles are going to pop up under their names. Do something
the definition
right there.
of
right,
good.
Bam. Man, that's actually going to make it way hard. Stop moving your hands. They got to be stable, Austin. I ain't that good yet. I ain't good with the motion yet. I do the stable. Yeah, right there. That's why your shit gonna pop up. The stable. So I might pause your frame or some shit. Hey, bro, I ain't that good. But we are in here, man. We are in here. Y'all ain't been here in a second, man. What y'all been up to, man? Say something to the people. We got the host of the Neverland podcast. We got Flicks by Drew in the building. That's the only thing I'm calling him for the rest of the episode. Drew. So how you been, Flicks by Drew? Blue tongued up and everything. What you eating? Some fruities?
Okay, so I came in the house. I was like, dang, some candy on the table. Knowledge.
Can we point out that I don't know anyone who's ever called them now and laters? That's the first time I think I've ever said that.
Knowledge.
There was a time period where I was struggling to just get some content out. Shout out to all the homies who came on the podcast when I was just trying to stay consistent. Because some of these have nothing to do with music.
Now laters. It's a bold 8 in that mud.
You gotta add AH at the back.
AH is now later. This episode is gonna be called Black Phonetics.
Ebonics 101.
I might cut this out. What are we talking about?
Didn't cut any of this out.
Yo.
What you been up to, Austin? What you been doing? You got the rocking the Miseducation shirt. There's only 3 of those that exist.
Yeah, those limited run Miseducation shirts.
He
let's
has
go to another
on
one.
This,
here we go.
Which is another reason why I think this beat is just a hit for him.
This was a great album. Let me rewind this. This is the Anime Limbo album review. I haven't done an album review since like episode 86 or 87. Might bring these back, but I think I'm just going to do them on Twitch if I do. I feel like I was doing them before I could get as many interviews on the podcast, and now I can reliably get interviews. That used to be a problem, yo. Like, shout out to everybody who's come on my podcast, who has helped me in getting more people to come on the show.
Miseducation of Music, where you are here with J-Treb and Alex, and today we are coming at you with something that I am oh so excited for. It feels like we're back at home a little bit. When I was listening, and I was like, oh, we're about to do an album review. I was like, oh, man, it made me feel good. It made me feel
we used
really
to,
good.
like, exclusively be on the
reviews. I had to change my mic stand because the other one started fighting with me in the middle of the recording. So if you guys see that and you see a lot more of Alex's face than mine, it's because I'm literally using
I don't know if those
to
clips
fix
ever
mic
came
stand,
out.
and then I just went and grabbed my better mic. But other than that, I want to talk about a few current things and then dive into this. We're going to talk about the new Amine album called Limbo, and man, it is such a good album. But I got some other news here I do want to bring up really quick, like Nas dissing Doja Cat.
See, this is news to me too. I've just been on my
Good,
phone
man.
for the entire
Good.
weekend.
That's good. That's what, man.
Like
That's what I'm here
first
for. I want to
reactions
show you
here.
the news. So he dropped a song where he disses Doja Cat by.
So we used to cover a lot of like current event music stuff, And the reason why, I don't know if anyone even has this question on the channel, but the reason why I don't cover any of that stuff anymore is because I feel like it is straight salacious clickbait. Like, and I understand that it may not be in some other opinions because I even love to listen to, people review things and people talk about their opinions when it comes to stuff like people dissing other people. But I found that it's not my lane on the internet at all. Like, I don't enjoy being a part of it because I don't want people in my comments talking about my opinions. So, like, why share them, So that's kind of why that's been veered away from. I share my opinions here and there as, like, I'm talking with someone, but I'd never solo an episode around it anymore, I don't think, because it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Like, it feels better just talking about music. With that being said, we're gonna dive into where me and Alex actually start freaking reviewing music.
Life, because also on this Amine album, he makes a line where he's like, "Where was you at when I was driving in the Nissan and I was in my Nissan listening to that verse going, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. You're rapping about my current struggles, man." But let's dive into that album with that segue, man. We're getting better at these, dude. It's almost like we've been doing this, man. Like we segued into the album off random convo, man. It's like we do this or some shit. Now, initial take of the album. What were you feeling here, my man?
So, Mina's been a pretty interesting guy to me because I think we've talked about him on the podcast before. But when it comes up, it's mostly because I'm partial to people who blow up on the scene from a single because it instantly smells like label. And it smells like label.
It smells like label, and it smells like short term. It doesn't smell like longevity.
Yes. Yeah, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when did Rodeo? Not Rodeo? What's
not Rodeo? You're talking about his first album. Oh,
no, Lil Nas X.
Oh, when did he drop?
Old Town Road. That dropped.
That was like 2 years ago now. No, it's like a year and a half.
Old Town Road dropped 2018. So yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Old Town Road dropped in 2018. That is the wildest thing I've heard today. That song's 4 years freaking old, dude. That's wild. Wild. Oh my god, dude. It's like, what the hell? We've been in some weird matrix since then. Okay. Well, let's keep going.
For this, and Caroline dropped, I don't even know it was that long, 2016.
Yep. 2016.
That was the year after we graduated high school. Like, that's crazy.
But we want to know what's popular? What's crazy, the rest of that album gained popularity over the course of 2017 and 2018, and then he gave us another album. Let me shout out my homie Rodrigo. Got to shout him out. I know he's watching. He's the one who put me on to Amine's first album. All I knew was Caroline. And I was, of course, I'm not a shit talker, but I was like, he ain't sticking. If Caroline is all you got in the bag, you're not sticking. I went back and listened to Heebie Jeebies on that album with Kalani.
Great.
Best song on that album. It's a bonus track, and I love when they're bonus tracks because that means they.
Till this day, Heebie Jeebies is one of the best songs that I've ever heard in my life. Granted, that, like, you could take that with a grain of salt. I have hundreds of best songs that I've ever heard in my life, but there's a lot of freaking amazing art out there. Like, listen to me. Heebie Jeebies by Amina and Kalani is one of those songs, though. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, the bass line, just the way the keys play, the way they both, like, flow together. Wildness. Great music. I still stand by that opinion.
Shit, almost didn't make it. And I love that when your best song on your album is one that almost didn't even make it onto the tape. And it was such a good song. And when I listen through, you hear Charlie Wilson's on that first album, and now they best friends because Charlie Wilson on backgrounds through here, not all credited in features, but now they best friends with it and shit. But it's so crazy to see someone who could have the catchy single, but also the rest of the album backed it. Because I feel like Lil Nas X didn't give us that. He gave us the EP right after. It didn't back his single. Whereas Amine handed us all of this at the same time. He said all of that is quality. You not gonna notice yet. And then he has an intro on the album that came right before this thing's called 1.5. Let me get that title right. Let me make sure. Yeah, 1.5.
Dr.
The
Whoever.
intro track's called Dr. Whoever. It's just an open letter to
these intros ain't meant to be bangers.
I
They
love
meant
it.
for you
it's
and
one of my
me,
favorite
so
tracks ever released in history. And to go back to episode 1, he properly knows how to credit sampled lyrics. He says, when I'm from where niggas play tough, won't even smile in mirrors, and we learn to fuck hoes off trial and error. That's a J. Cole line. And then right after that bar, he says, Friday nights where them broke niggas call out. And I'm just like, that's how you do a salute. He not only did a J. Cole bar, he salutes J. Cole's big.
The bar is actually Friday night where them broke niggas ball out, and Amine be the name that your girlfriend gonna call out. And just because I feel the need to tell the real bar right now, because I messed it up on that recording.
Biggest mixtape, his intro to the scene, Friday Night Lights, like that is how you properly feature, and I think that's where my respect for him just went through the roof. I was like, you know how to respect the game, you know how to bar up properly. I'm listening to whatever you drop for forever now.
He's like, dude, and that you said it right. Like, it's so rare nowadays, especially nowadays, when you have. He's like the anomaly where it's like, yeah, you drop a song, like you said when I first heard it, I was like, okay, it's cool, and then that coincided with me going to 2018 when it kind of blew up. Me going to Northern, where I started to go a lot more parties and college parties, and like that song was just on repeat
All the time, bro. I was playing
Carolyn, yeah. And,
and I loved it when he performed it at Coachella and he said, if you ain't black, don't say nigga at the part where he says West Side nigga. He just changed all the words and he just said, if you ain't black, then don't say nigga. And then he keeps the song going. I love that. Keep going, though, man.
Yeah, I've seen a
Oh, you getting a new vibe for us?
Getting a new vibe. Actually, you know what? Different color. Wait. Blue.
Man, you have great lighting going on in there. Can we also just compliment that really quick? You had great face lighting going on.
Selfie lighting. Big light.
Man, I gotta get my light together. I got like string lights over there. I created a vibe down here.
But to piggyback on what you're saying, yeah, it's like rare when a single artist can also give you an album that really makes you think and it really makes you reflect. Because I think what he does really well, which I didn't listen to 1.5, but I listened to this album, and it really captures. Even if you're not a rich rapper or a famous rapper, it really encapsulates what it means to be like in your 20s and like you have issues with like girls.
It
and you have
feels
issues with,
like the time we living in.
It feels like the time you're living in. Like you have troubles with girls and you like, you know, you have this like love for your parents, your mother, your parent, or your guardian, and how much they've done for you. And you start to, that's like
you start to understand that. You start to see it. You start to, because he talks about that a lot. He even says it on his previous albums where he's just like, I know my pops hates that I left the crib and now the lawn is his to mow. Like he was like, I know my pops hates that, but he's like, he's like, I had to go do my thing, and I like, it's those little nuances that catch me as a fan, especially of someone like Amine, where I feel like a lot of people could easily still write him off as the Caroline dude, even in 2020.
Right.
But like we 4 years passed, and he grew, man.
And the one that really opened my eyes personally was after I saw the video for Caroline back in. It was actually
well
2016.
Well shot.
2016, I actually did listen to a little bit of that album because I listened to Turf, which was the first Charlie Wilson song with him that I heard.
Yep.
And I was like, whoa, he's really introspective. He's really talking about leaving home and like, you know, this new journey of being, you know, a rapper and like,
of like
it was just really
getting his goals. I mean, like, it was nice.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not too sure where he stands in terms of like popularity. Like obviously he's a Caroline guy, but like I hope he sticks around because it's like he's doing shit like this now at 26, I believe he is. Like who knows where he's gonna go?
Where is he gonna go, man? That's my biggest thing. And man, now we got to dive into the album because because now you really talking some shit that I'm thinking on this album now. Just to preface before we get into this, before we go for the track here, this album has a lot of Kobe talk on it too. I don't know if we're going to keep referencing it throughout, but he definitely talks about how just Kobe dying was a huge thing for him and a couple of his friends and things like that because of how large of a figure he was. Even like saying inside of this album, like when Kobe died, I felt like a piece of my childhood died. And when he says that and explains it in there, it gets much deeper. He's just like that was a piece of like the innocence. Like that was a piece of like the childhood, especially for those people who like enjoy basketball, like watching basketball, or even if you've just thrown a piece of paper across a room and yelled Kobe. Like it's a part of your childhood in some manner or things of that nature. And like he he really gets introspective to that point in here because even in his past tapes, he's talked about his friends and growing older. Like he'll mention like his friends are getting married or his friends are having kids, and he's just like, "This is crazy. Like we're at this level, we're doing things like this," and he says it more in shock than anything. But to kick it off, the first track on the entire tape, "Burden," my man. This is a good intro in my opinion.
The beat, the beat,
The beat,
really good.
man. The
the
way
beat.
the way it like slides in there.
You know, I remember the reason why I don't do these breakdowns as much anymore for albums. It is impossible to review an album without giving people clips of the song to reference. And I was combated intensely on every platform you can imagine for including even the smallest bits of songs for parts that we're referencing, to the point where I just like kind of got tired of it and stopped including the parts, or like we just play a clip of it while we're there and like make sure to turn it off after like 3-4 seconds of it. But you know how hard it is to review it? It's like, and this is a problem I've been having. Damn, I'm not trying to be soapboxy. This is a problem I've been having with like people who review video content as well, where some of their content gets taken down because they have to use the copyrighted materials to describe what they're doing. Like, I mean, if I make a sample breakdown and I don't have the song in the background, it's going to be very hard for you to close your eyes and imagine and hopefully picture where that song is in that sample, or it would limit me to only being able to talk about songs that I know everybody hears in their head right after. Like right here, we're talking about an album, but like you can't in your head right now imagine track number 1 of Limbo by Amine, like unless you are the biggest fan in the world. So it's like, how are we going to move forward in a world where people like to review or critique or even give props to music? Like I feel like my sample breakdowns are more to give props to the history behind them than anything. And like how do we get to intermingle in that world and then still create content that people don't feel is stealing? Because the last thing I want to do is steal your art or profit off of your art in that manner. Like, in a sense, I see where profiting from the art comes from. Like, this person has to create that so I have something to talk about. But why can't I use this in reference to continue the conversation about this art you've put out? It's a very confusing conversation. It's something that I feel people who have tried to get samples cleared understand, because sometimes you're just trying to give an homage or you're just trying to, like shout something out. But no, you don't get to really like do that in today's world with how a lot of the copyright works. I'm hearing so much feedback in my headphones right now, and I don't know what it's from, but it just like gave me a headache. We're gonna go back and watching this. Actually, no, let's skip over to something else. Let's do some garage episodes. Shout out to my parents while this stream is going on, because my parents let me build as many sets as I wanted during the pandemic all over their house. I'm talking in the most inconvenient places and places that were convenient, just so much. But shout out to them, because without them, I would not have been able to keep this show going. But yeah, let's get one of these garage set episodes in here. This is an appreciation episode. This was episode 74, Smino Talk, with my homie Rodrigo. Very big fan of the show, as well as just super dope homie. This episode was dropped last year. Is that November 26th, 2020? Not last year, 2 years ago. Saying about Drake Belder?
He moved to Mexico like a couple years ago.
So we're talking about like
Drake Bell from
you talking about like
that dude. He learned full on Spanish and is a whole ass pop star in Mexico right now.
He's a pop star in Mexico. I thought you said pastor.
No,
first.
pop star.
He's a pop star in Mexico.
Sings nothing in Spanish. Or sings nothing but Spanish songs. They fucking love him over there right now. Apparently he's been there for the past 3 years.
I saw some weird stuff on Twitter. I don't know if I want to bring any like allegations to his name, but
Yeah, no, all that weird
Dude,
shit was definitely
bro,
why he was
like
down
his
there.
albums are all name.
yeah,
Drake Bell's Mexican name
Drake
change.
Campagna, yep,
Drake
Campagna.
Is he even Mexican?
Not at all. I don't think so. He only had like a little couple scenes in the TV show where he spoke Spanish. His Spanish is not that bad. Like, I saw a video of him talking
He
about
went
like
to Orange County High School.
yeah, he talked about like he's like I'm gonna cancel my shows due to COVID right now. Like he was talking about all that shit. Like
It's
COVID-19.
bad.
And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, so this is recent.
That's the
And-
most I've talked about that on the live. That's the most random
yeah.
shit I've ever heard. Dude, what the hell? Man. Oh my God. Drake Bell, Drake Campagna. Yo, what's up and welcome to the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I got a guest with me, the homie. You might know him from what was it, like episode 14?
Yep, episode
Man,
14.
14.
And the lives.
Emotions and Music.
And the lives mostly.
Yeah, and in the chat. If you've been in the chat of the lives, you've heard this man.
You gotta face the first.
You
You,
got
have
a
the
face
voice.
to the comment.
Now you got a face, and you know.
And now you got a face.
complete.
Yes, your first.
Yo, my YouTube's giving up on me
Sorry,
right
I'm coming
now.
on for a video episode.
Okay, there we go.
All my homies on for a video episode
I'm so
because we're
excited
on
for
YouTube
this.
now and stuff. I'm like, bruh, gotta have all the homies in here.
We got a video. Proof
Yeah,
that
well,
we're
so actually, this is gonna be the first video that drops in this new setup that I'm in.
really.
Yeah, so you're christening the setup. I mean, I've recorded some other stuff in here, but
Yeah.
you-
Awesome.
you're christening the
wow.
setup right now. I'm gonna start.
Only
using this.
recorded,
Tell me
like,
if the backdrop's
Two
dope. I can make
things
different-
in there.
I like this. This is
You
nice.
like this one?
But
I
you
don't-
can't tell that we're in just, a
Maybe
regular
very cool, but
garage,
this is
though.
Yeah, I was
so
thinking
Like
about maybe
theatrical.
just
That was
like
the only
actually
goal.
buying one of the big pull-up ones.
it's like not
Like one of the
warm
big ones.
at
This- I just
all in
made
that
this out of
garage.
Some shit in the crib.
PVC
Like, this
pipes.
is,
This is pretty
no, it's
dope.
not even PVC. These are tent poles, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, G,
Crazy.
come on, and they can't even tell. They can't even tell
You
on
cannot.
YouTube. So we're out here,
Man. Super fun fact about those tent poles. Those have become the best thing I've ever used for creation. They're currently in this room with me, and they hold up my green screen. I didn't like why buy the fancy, expensive ones if you literally if you got some random shit that works. Those tent poles have traveled with me at this point.
But look, I had to bring Rodrigo on because we have a shared love for an artist.
Also, Smino is dropping his new album, Love for Rent, soon, man. Go check out 24/8. He has a dope song. It's a single. It's so good.
An artist that might like a lot of people didn't know about when we started listening. Oh, phone fell.
It's all good.
But a lot of people didn't know when we started listening who he even was, and then he started popping up and coming up in different places. And then, oh my God, I think the video he did at Chopped and Screwed is one of the coolest things ever. If I could find it, I'll put it right here and totally just give away who we're talking about. But I'm also about to say it. We talking about.
I don't think I found that
Smeezy
video.
Jakes, Smino Grigio, Smeezy F baby, Smino, bro, dude. So like this artist, I saw him, and I've talked about this a million times on the podcast. But I saw him at a Kyle show. Like one time, he just popped out. Like, and it was really cool because I had just heard the EP. I just heard Black Jupiter,
That is a
and I was just
very
like,
dope-ass
"This is
EP.
crazy!" Like, and then he. Just
I'm gonna
popped
tell
up
that
at a
story
Kyle
for the
show. I was
rest
like,
of
I
my
didn't even know
life.
we knew each other.
Man.
Like, bro, it was so random. He came out in like just like velour baby blue sweats, baby blue do rag, and fresh
Smino
forces,
style.
and fresh forces.
Smino
And this
style.
is before Big Smino anything. This is this is
This is
just
before
how
like
he
the
was
forces
rocking.
crunches too,
This
right?
is, bro, this is before all of that.
Man. Because people, you see him on tour. He would go on tour with.
He went on tour. He broke his
Crutches,
leg on tour. And Smino loves Air Force Ones. I'm wearing Air Force Ones for the episode. Got them on. Can you see him in frame? You can see him in frame. Yeah, there we go. He was here. You were with me when I got these, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, because when I got him, I posted him on Instagram, and I
You look
used
for
the
a song,
Smino
yeah,
line.
the
I
one was
used
looking for.
a Smino track, man. But he rocks Forces religiously. I love his Force collection. I want all of them. But when he had broke his leg on tour, he had put baby Forces on his crutches. That shit was so cool. I was like, this is hilarious.
He even like had somebody commemorate like a wooden like
A wooden
force. Like
force?
you travel on tour with.
Dude, yeah,
just
and
pop
then
out of.
his birthday
Just
cake. Oh my God, I'm put that
man.
video in here too, bro. He does the coldest Millie rock over the candles.
So
And-
the kid, that was.
I wish
and
there
that was
was a
pretty cool.
counter for how many things I
Bro,
said
he
I
is
would add
such
in
a
an
dope
episode
person. Like,
that
Smino is
never
one of the
made
coolest
it.
people ever, and then on the bars, he is second to none. Like, gee, he kills it. Like the wordplay, the way he can use references, like it's just insane to me. So like I like to kick it off. I always ask people, what was the first exposure? So what was your first song you heard? Do you remember the moment? Was you like, yo, I rock with this artist hard immediately? Or was it like I heard him over here, then I started listening later when I really keyed in, something like that?
So my first song with Smino was Anita, and that was from one of our friends. He used to go to high school with us, Joaquin Leo.
Man.
I used to drive Joaquin home from
Boy, that
school.
Anita track.
The A-N-I-T.
He spells, bro. He has this country grammar that's it's like Nelly but cranked up to 1,000,000. And just, bro, the way he sings on that one is dirty.
Smino slide.
The Smino slide. He slides onto the verse, bro. So that Anita was your first track, and then where'd you go from there?
I went to the Black Jupiter EP as well.
Okay.
And
Ooh, that's the Oxygen.
Yeah, the Oxygen is one of my favorite songs on that track because that is
I need
one
oxygen,
of the hardest songs. Personally, because like the emotion behind it, I just feel like the little harmonies in the background, little melodies, and the lyrics in itself. Like like in the middle of the song, he's talking about how his dad's in the hospital and he doesn't know what to do about it. He's like, I'm over here fucking bitches, and I should be going over to see my pops, because all I know is gonna be the last time.
He just explains the reality, G. Like, and I appreciate that. I appreciate tracks like that, especially because like.
And like some people were there just for Earth Gang. I met some people who were like, we drove from Indiana just for Earth Gang. We don't even know about Smino.
That's what happens though. I mean, dude, I drove from my college to a random Shark Tank type pitch event because Kyle was performing for free after.
Really?
Yes. And I was in the front row. I was in the front row for a whole bunch of shitty Shark Tank pitches. No disrespect if any of those people are listening, but y'all pitches was ass. Like I've seen Shark Tank. Like I wasn't gonna donate.
True.
That's what I'm saying. But hey, it was weird. You do shit just to see artists. Especially if you're like, fuck it, it's here. Like I was coming to the city from school, so I was like, I know my way around.
Not wrong.
Craziness.
Yeah.
So what was the set like?
He brought a whole ass car.
I know, because it was the hoopty tour.
Half-ass car.
Yeah, he brought a half of a whole ass car.
Yeah. It was like bright pink. Fucking, he had tires set up, looked like a little tire shop, honestly, with the neon lights. He had Monty on the side with his little setup and shit, hold it up by tires. And I'm like, this is because like if you guys don't know, I have a shitty ass car, and I call it the hoopty.
No, you have a hoopty.
Yeah, I stopped by because he also was selling merch of like hoopty stickers.
One time I had to
Velcro.
leave one of the lives and go pick him up 3 hours away from our current locale.
Yeah,
because
Let's
broke down. Low key decent auto.
let's dive into some other interviews. We're getting towards season 3.
List goes on and on with how much you've been doing lately, man. But I got Gold Hayes here with me today on the What is up, and welcome to yet another episode of the Miseducation of Music. And today you are with J-Treb, but I got a whole superstar in the building with me, man. On the podcast today, I'm talking already doing 20K plus streams on the project. Over 21K likes on the TikTok, man. You killed Instagram this summer with the beat videos. G. Man, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself too, because I can keep going forever, man. The list goes on and on with how much you've been doing lately, man. But I got Gold Hayes here with me today on the podcast, man. So we talked almost a year ago, and since then you have gone completely and utterly insane. I'm talking to the moon, and we all saw it coming, man. Your drive, the hustle you put in, it's all well deserved that you are where you are, my G. So
appreciate you, bro.
I just want to kick it off. How is it? How does it feel? What's it like to these new levels that you get into? Your feature list on the project was crazy. The reception on the project I've been seeing everywhere is crazy. Like, how's that been?
Man, it's been a blessing just to see the love. It just shows me that the hard work is paying off, just staying consistent with the time and making the most out of each day. Everything been paying off. And it's just beautiful how all of these beat videos we started last year, it made sense into the project. Like if you look at a lot of the beat videos I had to cover in the project.
So I was about to talk about those. So the pandemic stopped nothing for your hustle, my G. That first beat video came out. I actually wrote it down here, April 29th. When you went to Chicago freestyle. That was the first time you did the one where we could see you had the NPC right there. You had the whole layout, the video on the camera, bro. What inspired that idea? Because I mean, I remember those early flips. You did a Jamie Foxx one over.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was the early
singing slow jams by No Parking on the Dance Floor, man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I remember
Wow,
that
that's
sample.
crazy.
That's one of my favorite tracks. I love when Jamie Foxx used to sing that in his sets. But like, how did you start there and then eventually this turned into a project? I remember you dropped them on streaming. I was listening to all of these beats, man. Like they were so dope. How did it evolve from there? Like you started with the Chicago freestyle and just showing us those crazy sample chops you do. But like it evolved into this.
Man, this is the
thing.
longest winded question I've ever asked in my life.
When the pandemic first started, everybody was at home trying to figure out what the next chapter of their life was going to be. And I was laid off of work, laid off of my job, and I was really trying to put my heart into this music, everything into this music. And I just knew the answer was the music. And I just had to find a different way to touch the people on a different level. And I feel like content was extremely important because at the time, my content wasn't as good as it is now because I wasn't like as proactive as I am now as far as like just saying, okay, I'm gonna put a camera up and then just show people my process. Pretty much simple as that.
Pretty much giving people that behind the scenes look, dude. We're addicted to that. I'm telling you, when you first started dropping them and started coming out, I was like, this is what I love to see. Like I'm a fiend for like how the stuff's created, the energy you feeling on the sample. Like when you had the video where you would be like, "Here's the sample, here's what I did." This is the type of shit that I want to see. Like, podcast is built around that type of shit. So I mean, like, thank you for even coming up with that type of content. You hit it.
We're gonna fast forward a little bit.
You have to really. But see that's how you know it comes together. Even with how you talked about the booklet, like when you're not rushing the process and you're doing things because you have a love for it, that's a piece of you. It's easy to give that piece of you, Like and I don't know, man. Like that's the type of music that makes me smile. That's the type of music that means something to me. Like you get to take that with you, much more than just the track plays for,
Yes, it's a time stamp. Like when you go back to your life, when I'm 30, I want to go back to this album and say, okay, this was the moment where I realized I'm taking that leap. Mm-hmm. Every album, every song on the album, it has purpose. It means something.
I feel it,
man. This is a really good interview. We're gonna dive into some different setups I had. So this is the first setup that I did at feature form. We're not gonna really watch this episode too much.
Used Octave, which is a bot for
this is the first setup we had over there. Shout out Bobby, came to set this one up for me.
So everybody who was in there live with us got that, and then on YouTube you can only hear it bleeding through my head.
Let me show y'all what the second angle looks like here. Yeah, so this is how we did record it the first time. And then in the interim in between, there was another setup in the basement, the record wall.
Every single one of these done.
So this is actually the first real 3-camera setup podcast. And then the first couch episode, shout out to the owner of Feature Form Studios, Ro Marsalis, one of the coldest engineers in the city and one of the dopest people just to exist. But this is where we get the angle that you all might know a little bit better now.
Then when I did
first iteration.
Did the Random Wednesdays was there were some things.
Hold up. Ro is bringing back Random Wednesdays this year, man, in 2022. Those were some of my favorite drops. That's how I got exposed to his music in the first place.
Just within myself.
He tweeted about those recently.
I think there was a lot of proof still in my heart of feeling like I had a chip on my shoulder and I needed to prove something.
Oh, actually, I'm going to rewind this. This is one of my favorite parts of any interview I did when Ro was talking about this, because it made me really think about myself and my grind, just this whole answer he gave here.
What led to me starting the studio, so I've lost count how many times I tried to quit and do this full time. So, excuse me. I want to say, as a married man, this is my second time quitting a job, a nice job, a cool job, and saying, no, I want to follow my dreams. What made this time different than when I did in 2018 and did the Random Wednesdays. There was some things I think just spiritually and just within myself that I needed to resolve. I think there was a lot of prove still in my heart of feeling like I had a chip on my shoulder and I needed to prove something to somebody and ultimately to myself. And this time around, I had a lot
pressure
of that resolved.
was off.
I had all that resolved. I had internal issues with my upbringing. I had all that resolved this time, and so there was a level of clarity I think I had this time going into this process that I didn't have last time. It was just time. It was really just time. So this was something I always wanted to do, just because.
From the shorty reading the album notes, you were like, I want to be the place you go to.
Yeah, this is something I always wanted to do. I just never knew how it was going to happen. I didn't know I was going to end up engineering.
Got you.
But it's crazy how you do things out of necessity so long. It eventually develops into a skill. So I've been doing front of house and live audio for quite a while.
Man, he's one of the coldest.
Does either or both. They're two different animals. Post production and live audio.
I think both of those are a different animal than even this.
I mean, broadcast
like this,
is
like
different.
Like studio recording in comparison to live, like things like live scare me.
Yeah.
Like like when it comes to things like post or working in a studio, like that's where I'm like, oh, that
you
a lot more comfort because like that's a lot more fixing. So that's interesting to see you come from there to be like, yeah, well now I want to deal with how can we make this track sound amazing for later.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where nobody, me, Osar, and Joseph, we didn't have those resources. We was getting it out the mud.
Made out of necessity, man.
And so for a while I was, well, not Josie, but not all of Josie or most of Josie stuff, but for a while I was recording, mixing, mastering, producing everything for us, for all of us.
So you had the workload of all of the artists.
Dude, man, it never felt like that. This is fun. This is awesome.
That's awesome that it never felt like that, because that's literally what 4 or 5 artists
Still
right there,
wild.
where you're handling. Were you on production? I'm assuming for at least some of the tracks, and then the mixing, mastering, and recording. Man,
I did the whole Focus project for Josie. I did Baby Makers. That's the project. First project he had before that. All of the 3-piece series, those are all me from Josie. Man. And then the full whole 6-page letter with except I think Wax Roof did one song on for 6 pages.
Shout out Wax. I know him through Christian Jalon.
Yeah. And so but it's always been that way.
I just, that's so insane. I can't believe you took that on your back and just said, all of that music sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Look, for everyone who is at home, you could play any of these tracks. The quality is there.
Don't play it. Don't play these songs.
Hey, that quality is there though. Like you're saying artists and tracks that I literally have in my rotation. Like,
I appreciate that.
These are tracks that like I remember when they dropped. I remember being on social media and seeing all of these artists push these tracks, and I did not know that you was really sitting in the back handling every one of these.
Yep.
And I mean that makes so much sense for as you lead to having your studio here and even the connections you made in the city. Like,
and that's why I said what I said. I'm very used to doing things by myself. So this is
that's how you get there.
This is an entirely new experience. But the biggest thing I think I learned doing this album and having the help I had is, and this advice I've been sharing to people. Listen, man, when you really are helping yourself, help will come. People. The energy you give out of you being productive, believing in something, and sticking with it, and seeing it through, it resonates, and it has to. It's going to bring you the right people. It's going to bring you the right situation.
Okay. Now we're going to switch it over to when I finally started paying an editor.
Everybody now is knowing who you are in the city.
This is second episode to edited by Tapri. Shout out my editor, most amazing dude ever. Also, I hate myself for having my chain out the whole time because it looks like I'm like just being weird, but that's definitely not my persona. Yoda hat and a chain. But yeah, this episode far better than anything I could have ever edited. Far better. Whenever it decides to load, we'll be in here. I'm streaming this unconventionally. I didn't want to use my computer to stream these because I have some other things going on in the background task, and I don't want to put that load on my computer to also play the video while I'm streaming, while I'm also doing large file transfers of audio. So I have a Chromecast plugged in to my computer, so that's how I've been playing these. So right now it looks like it's giving up, but we'll see if I can trick it by switching videos really quick.
Oh, not a problem.
Yeah, that was actually the first episode there. Teddy, shout out.
Everybody now is knowing who you are in the city.
Let's rewind this one. I want to see this Flex episode. I haven't seen this in a while.
You gonna have it? Got you, my man. You ready to dive in? True. What is up, and welcome back to another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I got a special guest in the building, man. Flex
These
Sinatra.
cameras are
What's
so
up,
dark.
my
I
man?
did not know much
Man, how
about
you
how
been?
to
You got a new
correctly do
project
my,
out right now, man. We've been talking for a while, but I've
cameras.
never actually met you in person and never got to sit down with you. So
we
I'm glad we
overdue.
got to sit down.
Yeah, we overdue. I'm fresh off the release of the Beyond Measure lick, the 7-song EP I just dropped.
Yeah, man, that was a nice
ago.
little present at the separation too. After you hit us with that crazy project for 2020,
Yeah.
but like, man, I want to dive in because on my show I like to ask the questions that we, it's not going to be the regular questions everybody else asking.
Please don't. Please don't.
So I mean, look, let me give you a little introduction, man. This is a rapper right here, man. When I tell you, like, everybody in the city is playing your stuff right now. I went to record a podcast for somebody. I was like on a job, and they was playing your music on the TV the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm talking just the videos running the whole time, and I was like, man, this is really like taking over right now, and your videos go crazy as well, man. And also, this is the man who dropped the same day as Herb for that Separation project. We're not gonna let nobody forget, man. That was crazy. That was so dope.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, dude, you got so much crazy music. How did you get started in this? How did you get started in the music? Was it a love from a young age? Was it something where you were just like, let me try it today?
My whole life I never wrote not one rap until I started, right? Which
Man.
was at the age of 18.
So you didn't even, it wasn't
No.
like, was it in the studio the first time you tried it?
No, it was from being with my homie, like my right hand man. You know what I'm saying? Like just from being around the same. When you niggas end up smoking because they friends smoke.
Yeah, something
Type
like
shit.
that. So it's
The
like,
shit, you know what I'm
hey,
saying?
some
This-
people around you rapping.
The company you keep, you feel me, might influence you to end up, you know what I'm saying, doing some of the things they do, picking up on some of their shit. And my homie Pete, he was rapping like day one, sixth
Who's your-
grade.
So is your homie still a rapper now?
Nope. Nah.
What is he doing now?
You familiar with Pee Wee the Plug?
Pee Wee. Okay, so that's
It's
who you
him.
talking about.
It's
I
him.
didn't know that's what he was talking
I didn't
about.
know if you know him
So
for
no,
sure, so
I
I wanna
know
say his
him
name like
because,
you
and
know
I
him.
was just talking with Ro about this right before we started. I didn't know that was your homie from like young age.
Yeah,
I didn't know y'all knew each other that long.
Sixth grade, yeah.
Yeah, so my homie works for House of Highlights, and he's the producer for the Through the Wire show.
Small world.
Small world,
I
bro.
didn't know that.
I was just up there down this grove.
That's time.
So that's crazy. Okay, so it's Pierre.
It's
so
P. So P been
got
rapping.
you.
P was rapping before all these niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Rapping became popular at a certain. I don't know if that's just like 4-5 years ago, but everybody.
It was
just
like that
started
2015, 2016. Everybody
Yeah.
could be an artist on SoundCloud time.
rapping. Exactly. It became real easy to put music out, so a lot of niggas just started tamper with it. But P been rapping since the day I met that nigga. Since we
Okay.
was kids.
That's why
Yeah.
he be popping up on all the features on
Yeah, he come
on
up-
all the Rich
rap
Vision
when
projects.
he rap every now and then. He rap when he feel like it now because you know what I'm saying. He got a real love for that shit.
Yeah,
So he
man. I
not-
heard Adam like pulled up on him at the studio and he threw a verse down.
P fuck around and he could randomly be writing a motherfucking song today. He's so busy in the sports world that
Yeah.
he can't. You know, he not on rapper time, but he gonna always rap like when he feel like it.
True, man. Well, that's what's up. So
Yeah,
P
skip
got me
ahead a
like
little
P
bit because I'm still gonna watch more of these episodes.
and they
This
hand
is
you like
really good
enough up
interview, though.
front to
So-
feel like you got something,
so
but they
here's a
really
check.
collecting the bag.
Here's a
This one is currently, I think, my most viewed podcast on YouTube as well. This Flex Sinatra episode. So shout out Flex for coming on the show. Thank you for rocking with the show, man. Like, just thank you. I know that them numbers ain't nothing compared to what his video is doing, but that means a lot to me that the homies will come and sit down and, we get to chop it up and actually, talk about the history that we're laying down as it's happening.
check, but on the back end, this shit really not.
You don't
good
know
look for
nothing
you
in that
at
back
all.
section.
And we own your name and likeness, and we taking this and that.
standard deals give up entirely too much. The right deal for me is the deal where we able to retain the shit that we built. You know, it just don't make sense.
I mean, yeah, because you did that. Like they weren't even involved,
Yeah,
especially in
yeah.
the back catalog.
Yeah.
So I understand that. So you had to get, the 6-figure deal, retain all the ownership,
Facts.
and that's the deal for you.
Facts. Maybe not even all of the ownership, but like y'all not finna take.
Like, don't come
y'all not
over
finna
here and
just-
cap.
Yeah, we not doing that. We could work out something. Whatever makes sense. All deals is different, but yeah,
Mhm.
that the 10K thing, we ain't doing that.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
So would you be interested in being signed in the future, or are you trying to rock it independent or stay with like this Rich Vision collective type thing, just rocking
even
that
when
by
I,
yourself?
even when I do, I'm gonna eventually sign. Like,
Okay.
Inevitably, we gonna end up partnering with a larger company one
Mhm.
day.
Even
But
if it's just for something like distribution or
even if it's
marketing
just-
and
even if
things
it's
of that
just
nature.
Empire with a distribution deal or some shit, but in
Mhm.
some facet, we gonna definitely end up doing the deals.
This question gets me so many different answers on the show about like I don't ask every artist because I feel like it's stupid to ask every artist because some people are very apparent with their personas, musics, profiles about how they never sign deals or how they don't care enough to sign deals or things like that. But I feel like when with artists like Flex, like asking them that question about would they sign a deal, it's so interesting to see how people would shape deals in today's world as opposed to the deals that were offered, I don't know, 10 years ago, like 2012, or even if you go back 20 to 2002, like those deals were crazy that they were giving artists. And it seems now all artists want from a label is distribution, maybe some marketing. Like they just want you to be in charge of getting the record to the people. They know they can make it themselves. Most people, a question that I do ask everybody on the show is like, unlimited budget, what album are you making? Most people don't even want crazy big features anymore. Like most people want their homies in the studio and they want to be able to pay their homies with that money. They want to be able to pay the session musicians who've gotten them this far. Stuff like that. It's like we're in a different time period, at least from the artists I've spoken to on my show. We're in such a different time period of what a label could even offer somebody. Like, because you're not going to, like, there are very few people who are really in this music who are just like, yeah, I'll take any money for it. Like, I don't care. Just give me anything. You can have this. It's not happening anymore.
As long as we just gonna make sure in the deal, Rich Vision gets to stay Rich Vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the biggest part. I mean, you all have built something crazy there.
Yeah, it's just we really building this shit brick by brick. So it's like, why would we? We not building it up to leave it high and dry. You know what I'm saying? Whoever signed me got to take on my imprint as well, our imprint, and it just gotta make sense. Everything have to stay. Everything that we built so far have to stay intact.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Also, man, can we keep just like shouting out Flex for his music knowledge? Because a lot of people don't even understand that, and that imprint part might have went over some people's head. But if you're an artist and you're watching this, please understand about like imprints. Like I'm trying to get this video together about artist labels and how imprints work with labels and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Very like you could dive forever on that topic. So like, just it's crazy. And bro, his knowledge on the game is insane.
Now, if I could ask you, how did you get started in Rich Vision, or what's the story there?
So, P started Rich Vision.
Mm-hmm.
P was the rapper before everybody, right?
Yeah.
We like this being around him. He got me to rap. Now we rapping together. We started as a duo.
So Rich Vision was just Flex and B.
It wasn't even Rich Vision at the time. We had a whole different name. It was just like Rich Vision is a label, like a lifestyle brand. It was just like a duo.
Also, those of you who don't know, Rich Vision has so many dope people from the city, including Gold Haze. So just
trying to try it.
Yeah, we just rapping. P was like, I ain't fucking with it. Like, I'm going to fall back. I ain't really finding myself as quick as you are. But he like, but you got that shit, though. So I'm going to, instead of just completely separating from it, I'm going to get behind you.
Okay.
On some, well, you could call it management if you want. I don't know what you want to call it. We don't got to put a title on it, but I'm behind you. I'm going to put everything, all of my energy.
It was that belief right there. It was like, you got it.
And if you know P, bro, you know how, like, that shit meant the world to me because if you, like, I'm telling you, that man was rapping. P know basketball, P love sports, and P love music. Bro.
That's it right there.
That's why he worked for House of Highlights because he was gonna end up in some type of situation like that because that's just he didn't get lucky. That nigga really know that shit like the back of his hand. He really loved that shit for real.
He hustled for it.
So he didn't completely fall back from the music world. He just said, I'm gonna reposition myself. So he got behind me, and boom, now that he not in rapper mode for real, I guess, we needed he
It was
looking
the
at himself
business
like
brain.
it's business time. So Bridge Vision was the brand name that he came up with, and started with me and him. And
Man,
built
I
from
didn't
there.
know you were there from the very beginning, but you was
For
there
sure.
before. You
Most
was there
definitely.
before
I
it was
there
Rich
before-
Vision,
Yeah,
man.
from day zero I was there, and then it started with us two. Then Go Hayes was the next edition. Then it kind of spiraled out of control.
Yeah, I was about to say y'all crazy, man.
we,
Y'all got
we getting a little deep now. It's about 13. of us
everywhere I
now.
look. I'm like, oh, you Rich Vision too?
Yeah,
Okay, man,
yeah.
go crazy. Like I'm finding out new stuff.
That's the core, though, right?
Bro,
That's the
between
beginning. That's
Just
the
Adam,
beginning.
DJ Lena,
That's the
man, bro,
generation
who
one.
don't they have over there?
Okay, next question is, what is your dream project? What's the features, the producers? You got a studio in mind you want to be at? What's the dream project, the perfect flex?
My dream project is that's a good question too. I never been asked that. My dream project is I know that the shit that me and bro been working on. If you know me, you know that 90% of my production is done by the same person.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mhm.
Me and Hayes then built some crazy shit thus far. So and I feel like our music it ain't always been the best, but like maybe not in the earlier days, but we always had something. And
It
we
was
built
always y'all
from-
was creating this machine.
Exactly. So
Like,
from then to now, where we at now, we ready for I believe we ready for the grand stage and critical acclaim. So my dream project would be with bro. You know what I'm saying? With the same team that we've been with the same members that we've been doing this shit with, just with the look we deserve. You know what I'm saying?
man, that's what's up. So the dream project is same team,
It's us on a
just
different,
with just
us
with
on a
the
different level at a different scale.
on a different pedestal with it.
Yeah.
Man, that's what's up. That's one of the best answers right there. G. Just
Yeah.
using the homies, but I mean, it seems like a lot more people answer that.
Bro, that's what I mean by how people are answering that question. Like, so many people, they just want to win with the people who they have, man. Like, it's interesting. I feel like, I don't know, man. Like, I want to start, kind of taking track of this more as like a statistic or something. Like, do people really want to work with their favorite artist anymore? Or do they understand that it's like, I mean, if that time comes, I'd rather build with the people who I have now. It doesn't seem like too many people are like itching to get that Beyonce feature. Not too many people itching to get a Jay-Z verse. Like, I know people always got that Andre verse thing, but I think that's because of the more mythicalness of it in the first place. Like, you want it just to say you got it. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I want to dive into that more.
Way now, it seems like people are more invested in
That's the
having the
move,
right
bro.
people around you early.
We
It's
just
not
had a
like
meeting. We just had a meeting, and we was we was just talking and shit, just chopping it up. The whole team, like the whole Rich Vision team. We had a little.
y'all had a
dinner.
whole Zoom screen full of niggas.
we was in person. We actually met in real life.
Man.
Yeah, which was hard because
I was about to say that's a lot of schedules.
yeah, facts. But it worked out. Everybody showed up, and one of the things that was said was like, man, like your team, the people across from you, can be enough if it's the right people and if y'all really on to something for real. Everybody look up. Everybody wanna, every artist want a feature from him. Every producer want a placement with him, man. Nothing is
And
wrong
it's
with
like
that.
you got it's in the room already.
Nothing is wrong with that, but don't overlook the people to your left and right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can definitely
Man.
much can definitely be accomplished from the people who you.
Rich Vision gonna take
who
over the
already,
freaking
you know what I'm saying,
world, boy.
sitting across from
You
them.
already building something with them, so it's like it's almost like
We
the
gotta
next
dive into
evolution.
some more episodes here. We gotta dive
Like,
into
you
some
could tell that
more.
everybody who was featuring was on that same energy.
This is a
Cool,
more
so, hey,
current
we're gonna dive
episode.
into it.
Really
I wanna hear
enjoyed
all of
this
it. I
one.
wanna know
This
the
was
story. I
such a
wanna know
good
what's behind it.
time.
You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool. What is up, and welcome to another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I got a special guest with me, the rapper, the poet, the writer, just all around creative, Brittany Carter. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate you inviting me out.
I'm so excited. Look, this is an episode that I really, really wanted to do just because of how deep I get into your music. Like, you go crazy when it comes to the metaphors, to the bars, to the writing, your Instagram videos that you drop rapping.
I just want to say, after watching myself from episode 52 until this is episode number 103, I was trash, man. Thank you to anybody who was watching them early ones. Like, I mean, I do not think I was that great at all at talking, but I feel like I'm getting slightly better. I still don't even think this is amazing, but thank y'all for rocking with me. Or anybody who just found me off the new shit, like, thank you for liking the new shit. You can see where I came from.
Insane. And then the Vans channel 66 Vans. Oh, we got so much to talk about.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about it.
That's what I'm saying, because I want to know about all of it. I actually just want to dive right into these Instagram videos. You got one going crazy right now, like all the other ones didn't also go crazy. But like, what's the idea behind these? How'd you get into doing these videos?
Man, it's.
Her
I don't
Instagram
even.
videos
I wish
are
I could
insane.
explain
I
it.
play
I
them
want to
back
say
like
I
singles,
was doing them like at a real low grade at first. I was just like recording myself. Like,
it was just put the phone up.
Yeah, I was literally just doing that. And this guy I was dating at the time was like,
the audio's a little off.
what
here.
about if I record you, like, and you just pick different locations type thing? And I'm just like, okay, let's see how it works. I'm like, we can figure this out, right? And so the very first one we did, it was like over the Heart Part 2, I think.
Okay. Shout out Kendrick.
And it went absolutely nuts. And I was like,
so maybe we should do them this way.
Maybe we can keep this going.
And then you upgraded the production quality. I mean, eventually these are real videos. I mean, even the one you just dropped, like the emotion you can feel in it, the direction from the camera, it's all there, even though you just rapping in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of thought behind these. Like, how did it evolve from just, past that first one going crazy? Like, you've been consistent. Like,
honestly, these are my first videos that I've dropped, like these last two, since it's been a year since I've dropped any freestyle videos.
I was about to say, but during that time period, you had some performances.
Oh, yeah.
You did the At the Crib Fest. We had the Vans joint. You performed at a college. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I did. Sometimes I be forgetting. There be a lot of stuff going on.
Come on. That's why I'm here, so you don't forget. Look, we're going to talk about all of it because it's so dope to see where you took that and where it's going.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of people who drop music on social media. I think it's almost the new version of singles. Like, I go back and listen to them the same way I listen to singles from artists. Like, if somebody just drops a one-off before the album, I found myself on Instagram going, I got to hear that track again. Let me just go back to Instagram and replay it. So, I mean, I loved it. Like, that lane is so open and that lane is, like, here to stay. I thought it was just going to be a pandemic thing,
Yeah, me too. I didn't, my goal when dropping them, I was just doing it for fun. And then it was just like,
writing exercise.
Yeah, it was just, like, really...
Skip ahead.
Love to go hiking. Like, I love being outdoors.
Shout out nature.
Like long car drives.
We love a good nature reset.
And finding like other
Speaking
artists.
Of car rides, we're actually
going to
change
like,
episodes.
They don't have to be like big artists.
Sunset Radio. This was episode 100. Elijah LaFleur. Another person, shout out for coming on the show, man. I don't think people understand. Y'all be making me look more official by letting me ask you these questions.
Episode of Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I got a special guest in the building, man. Elijah LaFleur, man, the singer.
Which one I look at? Both
you can look at either camera.
Yo.
Hey, the editor will cut it, whichever one you look at, bro.
For sure.
But yeah, man, we got the singer. We got 1/6 of New World, man. We're going to talk today about some
1/6.
music, dude. I just want to dive straight into it. Just this project is amazing, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Sunset Radio.
Thank you.
Like,
anybody who's watching who wants a little like preview for what's coming up, KO, another member of that crazy large New World group. I'm pretty sure he's also a member, but he is related, but he's going to be on the show. I'm actually going to have him on, I think, this week.
Jack, it's
really
your first album, correct?
Yeah.
So man, like this is a big deal. What's the theme behind it? How'd you get to this headspace on it?
So, first and foremost, all praises due to Allah, but putting that inspiration on my heart, because I don't think that no thought originates just from us.
I agree with
You
you.
know what I'm saying? Like we pull on something.
We pull either from the universe, from things we see. That's kind of how we even get to an original idea. It's the combination of so many energies coming together.
Exactly. So, I was working on this project, and it's crazy because when I first started,
I'm sorry to every guest who came on who had to hold your own microphone. I just got mic stand.
I'm so interested on how you got here.
Yeah, so I was essentially in this, as I was working on this album, I was essentially making a transition, um, away, not away from hip hop, but just making a transition in my artistry. And so I was going through this transformation and trying to find myself again as an artist. And I came back from Cali. This is in May, and I hit Row Up, and I was like, "Yo, book the session."
Yeah, man.
I
What's
came
up,
in, I
Rod?
was
In the
like,
comments, yeah, dude. We're I'm literally just watching and like half critiquing old episodes here. So just watching some old, not old live streams. These are old podcasts. Just watching through the Miseducation. I don't think I would go through the lives. That's too intense. It's too many episodes. Just going through some old podcast, checking some stuff out, been jumping around the season
that
2 and 3.
probably is gonna sound
Season
weird.
4 is on the way soon,
Yeah.
so making sure to grab some inspo, see what needs to be changed. I was watching the old episodes at first, and let me tell you, man, thank you to anybody who watched those old ones, because I was trash. Man, I don't know how y'all watched those. Like before the editor came in, before all of it, man. But yeah, just watching some old podcasts here, realizing where everything was right and wrong in the past. Also peeping that I have not done an album review in forever. Yeah, nah, man, just doing this in the middle of the day, little Labor Day stream. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'm probably just gonna keep running this one. I've only been running a couple minutes of each episode. Nothing too much. I'm gonna hit a few more. Actually, I'm gonna switch it up right now. I'm gonna play this Cassius Tay episode from season 3. Just so I can also shout out Cassius Tay, who has been on every season of my show. Like, shout out to him, man. He was on season 2, Creatives in Quarantine. He did a phone interview season 1. We used to do interviews on the phone. That sounds wild, but like, man. And then he came in season 3. Forgive me, this is before we had the setup going good. This is the first iteration of the setup that was at Feature Form Studios. It was at a table, and it looked stupid, but we eventually got to the couch, and got the camera set up.
I have this written down because I feel like every time I have you on the show, it's just a bar that just catches me the fuck off.
Every time I have him on the show, I tell him about a recent bar that killed me.
That's notorious. That bar is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
We gonna dive.
He
in,
always
don't move
kicks
too
one
fast.
bar that
Like,
makes me feel
bars like that
crazy.
are ridiculous. But before we do, man, hello and welcome to another episode of the Miseducation of Music.
Man,
You are here
yeah,
with
that's
J-Treb,
that's the
your
track
host,
he
Miseducation.
did with
Hey, man,
Gold
shout out
Haze.
to
It's
the
called
pod.
Wave.
man,
It's
it's
real
great.
good.
I'm
I'm
so
in
glad
the
to,
video.
first I wanna
If
say
you
what up to
watch the
everybody
video
listening,
for
watching,
Wave by Cassius
tuning
Tay, I
in.
was on the
Thank
video
you
set
having
for
me
that.
Man,
on.
this is the third time.
You
Thank you
know,
for coming on, G.
I'm
You
glad that
just-
we could do this without, pandemic being like miles away, Zoom calls,
For real.
So it's like it's cool. It's cool to get,
Oh man, the audio's lagging on the video again.
get in person and finally do it. It's
Because I have
energy,
this
different vibe,
Chromecast
different to talk
doing
about,
this.
Gotta tape out.
Exactly. There's so
So-
much going on, and that's so dope. Last
Exactly.
time we talked,
I'm
you were
also
on
a
the Creatives
terrible
Quarantine
video
episode.
editor,
Yep.
and
those
this
episodes are
is
special to me
back
'cause
when I
love
was
just talking to
editing.
people and getting
So
in their minds when they were in quarantine.
Ugh.
It's like when you are a person who loves to create things and loves to collaborate, being in the house is like almost the worst thing in the world.
It is.
Because you're just stuck with only your side of the creation, but you want to
Yeah.
like collaborate and do other things. And you talked about that last time you were on. You were like, man, I want to be back outside doing shows, seeing
Yeah.
people. How has it been now that we a little bit more outside? You had the video shoots. You got some.
and
other
yeah, he
stuff
did
going on.
perform
How's
at
it been?
that Taylor
Honestly,
Bennett show. Shout
before
out
the
Taylor
pandemic,
Bennett.
I
That's
was
where we
doing
got
probably
the
like 3 or 4
Taylor
shows
Bennett
a week,
mixtapes.
And I
Oh, you
think
was
like
going
I
crazy.
was working.
Crazy.
And then I record like all of my music in Detroit. So I would be in Chicago, but then I would take a train to Detroit, stay out there for like 2 or 3 months, and then just record music, right? So,
You had a whole little thing going on.
Exactly.
It was just a schedule.
but it's crazy since the world kind of opened back up. You would think I'd be on the same type of time, but like now, it's like a quality over quantity. So like I'll probably do like 1 or 2 a month, but like the show that I'll do, it'll be like packed. It'll be like
it's like let's get everybody in there for this one.
Thank you. And then it's like, okay, let's see what I could do next. And it's like, okay, instead of shooting all these videos at once where I need a bunch of people, it's like, well, let's just shoot like 2 where I need a bunch of people, and then we could do the rest. And that way everybody can come out, and it's not as much of a effort to continuously get people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not trying to always, like, hey, come out to this, come out to this, come out to this.
Exactly.
It's like, no, let's ease back into it.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit because you're talking about this easing back into creation. I was actually with you on this Wave Runner shoot. It was so crazy to see how
Wave Runner. It's the name of the song. Wave Runner.
And I was like, this is that collaboration he was talking about.
Yeah, nah, for real.
It was that let's get everybody.
That video
out
shoot
now,
was
like,
insane.
During the pandemic,
Everybody and their
videos.
mama
So
was
let's
at that
backtrack
video
and talk
shoot,
about
bro.
those real quick. You haven't been on since you did a feature with Leger, I believe it was.
Yeah. Me and Leger did a feature, the
you
blind
did that
feature.
one,
Yep.
and then on top of that
wasn't a pandemic. Yeah, it was.
Leger is also going
on top
crazy
of that,
right
you
now.
Also had the Scoop track, which was for the project. Is it an EP or is it?
I say. I let people say EP and I come to terms to say EP, but it's the EP. Let's say EP.
I kind of like to call everybody's a project before
I'm gonna say
why
I say it's a project, but it's the EP.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I got you. But so that song was for the project that was coming up, and then on top of that, you had the Lemon Pepper Freestyle, which one of my favorites.
Man,
like I run that more than the Drake one. The Drake was out of my playlist.
I get that
out of my
much.
playlist.
Yeah.
You did something different. Like, and it was hearing you play
His
the
Lemon
beat
Pepper
that made it
freestyle is
crazy.
way
But how
better
was all
than
of that
Drake's.
creation in the pandemic?
And Drake's ain't even bad.
That had to be a lot.
But
honestly,
his,
look, I think
like, he should have got the
being
beat
in
first.
The pandemic, with me not having shows, I think it allowed me to make the type of music that I wanted to make. Not saying I didn't want to make music that's like supposed to be for shows that you don't perform.
But you were
with.
kind of making the music that you could listen to
in the crib. Thank you. Things that like everybody is thinking about.
Flip, man.
Thank you. And it's like I'm on Twitter, so I'm seeing everybody's thoughts. I'm on Instagram watching stories all day. I'm seeing everybody's thoughts.
So like you're looking at what songs people are tagging up with their at-home pictures. You're seeing what people's playlists look like when they're in the house all day.
And I know I'm relating to the things that's being said. So it's like, well,
and that man,
who better but me than to write about it?
Relatability.
You know?
Let's just we tap dancing around it. I was gonna talk about a few topics before, but let's just get into Alone in Blue Hour because the relatability is really what gets me.
Yeah.
Like this project's insane, and talking about it purely from just to start off your promotional standpoint.
Yeah, thank you.
You are the coldest promotional rapper out. Like, bro, I've not seen rollouts on the level of what yours are.
Thank you. I appreciate
like,
that.
I mean, and I'm talking about like, and since we're on YouTube, I'm gonna show them the screen. Like, you have to see your Instagram aesthetic and how it changes. I've been diving in, talking with my homie Austin about social media.
At least this is at the time period where when I said I was gonna throw something on the screen, I really threw it on the screen.
And to see the color switch on
there was a good 20 episodes where I didn't do that.
How was this thought process? What did you do to get all of that in tune? Did somebody like specifically teach you this? Is this just how you always wanted to see like music rolled out or something?
I think honestly, so like I have like people who are close to me know this. I have a wave where I'm like in love with a color. I don't know what it is.
I can tell.
But
I mean, look, you've never said that before, but it's like, look, the shirt I have on, this was a whole wave, and then the shirt you're wearing is the wave of exactly what the music sounds like too.
And I think like I was always into like color therapy and seeing how like you can heal people through like colors of lights, and then also I understand like when I hear music I see colors, so I know like color has a big impact on how I feel. So I think that whenever I know what I'm feeling, like I had a crazy yellow wave and it just ended, and I don't know what happened. I guess being in the house quarantine,
and it was just like, let's switch it up.
Blue. You know, blue. It was
like, and it was crazy because I mean I don't know if people notice all the things like the subtle details. Like I noticed that like right when you were changing from that yellow to that blue, you kept the yellow hat, but the blue on the profile. Like those little subtle details in the promotion before we got to the music. Because that was like the first time you had ever announced this Alone in Blue Hour that Scared Love was coming out.
The wave he's doing right now for his he has a new project that's on the way, and the wave he's doing right now is just as good. Like his marketing and promotion is second to none, bro. Cassius Tay is going crazy. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up on Instagram right now, because he's actually out of that like blue wave that I was talking about in the episode. and it's crazy. Like his aesthetic is great. The way that he can like flow it all together. So like this is the wave for the new. Is my autofocus gonna work here? That's not even. No, it's not really gonna work. That's the answer. But yeah, like he's going crazy with it. The new wave of it. He always drops the dopest T-shirts and
like
stuff with
the
his.
color. It's always like me and my brother. We go back and forth on like how can we make things pop. Like me and my brother, we sit in the house a lot, and we always like he takes all my pictures and directs my videos.
Hell yeah, man! Shout out to Juwan the director.
Yep. Shout out Juwan the director.
He's the most recent episode on the podcast. Juwan the director. I got him on the podcast.
So it's like, okay, let's do it. And then so I was already studying Blue Hour, and he was too. So,
which is insane because it's more of a photography, videography term, and you used it
to make it more musical.
And I was like, how does it still hold up so well?
Yeah,
it holds up so well to the same premise. And I mean, for you to even say that you and your brother were having this like similar thought is crazy because he works with cameras and things, so it makes more sense
all the time. And
for him to be in this Blue Hour mindset.
And so by me going to college and more like I had like a lot of production classes, so I learned the same things that
I edited this fucking episode
has
decent.
An artistic eye. I have a more technical understanding of it, so like I can have a conversation with him, and then I can also I'm artistic in my own way.
Yeah.
So I'll know
they translate to different spectrums, but it's all from the same knowledge.
So I'll know if I.
We're gonna jump over to his brother's episode and listen to a bit of that. Back to what I was saying to everybody who has been on my podcast before. I'm so sorry you had to hold your own microphone because this episode is the first one where I had mic stands.
You ready for it, my dude? What is up and welcome to yet another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I got a special guest in the building, man. I have the creator, the filmmaker, the director, Juwan the director, bro. What's up, man?
My boy.
How are you doing today?
His brother also dropped some cult merch. I'm wearing it in the pod there.
Man, I want to sing your praises a little bit in the intro, bro. You have worked with everybody from Fada to Go Haze, YV or Swalo, is it?
Yes, sir.
Man, come on, Cassius Tay. We can keep going down the list. Product shots, man. Events. You do so much work, man. So worthy of the director title being in your name. And on top of that, bro, you got almost like 1 million views on YouTube on the Reinvented channel.
Yeah, I'll be going crazy.
Man, we got to dive into it today, bro. You going crazy, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad to have you on the show, man. Now, I want to get just started from how did you get into this? Like, your name is Juwan the director, bro. It's obviously a part of your identity. When did you get into this, man? How did you pick this up?
Man, it's a long story, but
man, we got time.
I'm gonna say one thing. Because we was talking earlier about how we all try to do everything within the culture and music. Like, I started like making music. I started freestyling when I was 7.
Okay.
So I did that.
Everybody starts as a rapper out here, man. I'm not ashamed to say it. I tried it too. Didn't work for me.
Okay, we bringing
Found something else in the industry.
That's too much work.
You're making me think about it. Like,
this sounds like homework. I'm out.
Yeah, I couldn't really get with it. And let me tell you how we used to make music. Like, we used to be outside, like me and my homies and stuff. Like, I made us, have a rap group. I kind of just like, bro, let's rap. Like,
bro, everybody, you can put some words together. I can put some words together.
Bro, let's just rap.
Let's just stand around this radio real quick.
Yeah, that's what we did. That's exactly what we did. We took a radio, we stood by, and I had an MP3 player. My grandma's always buying me stuff. She bought me an MP3 player, and I used to just record
I had so many MP3 players, bro. I had the different size ones, the ones you put the SD card in, bro. The one you had the microphone on it, bro.
Yeah, I had the mic on my joint.
Them joints was cold.
We was making mixtapes in like 2007.
Bro, I remember this era. There's so much nostalgia. I'm thinking of LimeWire looking for instrumentals right now.
Maybe being 10 was my prime, like, because of that.
Man, maybe that was the peak. Like, that was what I really wanted it. I need that grind with today's knowledge.
That was like the epitome of my hustle for sure.
Man, okay.
Burning this, bro. We had like this burnt like that.
Bro, y'all had the whole mixtapes ready. Now you rapping, you not writing the lyrics down, but you was obviously in it. So how did that transition over to saying like, okay, let me pick up the camera and film these people standing around this radio?
So like I start performing. Once again, my grandma buying me stuff. She bought me a camera.
Man, okay. Shout out to grandma, bro.
Going crazy.
She was just like, you gonna find something you love. Like,
and giving me technology though.
That's what's up.
Nobody in the family is really like. Well, I had like my cousin like good with tech, but besides him, we all like in the art. You know, so like really like paint and drawing. I I can't pay drop. Everybody in my family can.
Man, because I was about to say we was gonna touch on it at some point, but you also was making clothes at one point during the pandemic. That was
Dude, he makes some of the coldest like blankets you've ever. He makes like these really dope Jordan blankets. Man, it's wild.
The camera thing, I started shooting videos with my homies, and then I just started like just making my own stuff like with the camera. Like
you can hear how sometimes the audio's going out on the show. I'm hoping these new microphone housings are gonna help that. Like people are gonna know to like talk directly into these more so than having those microphones on the stand.
I think it was like my freshman year. After my freshman year, I think I saved money for the camera, and then I shoot videos with people around me. And ironically, I was doing it like when the drill wave started. Because it was just happening at the same time. Like,
noise gate. I'm recording these in on a Rodecaster, and the noise gate is like almost too good for like.
It was like
because if he talks a little bit off, it's not grabbing it.
I had an idea to be first with it either. But I'm just thinking about
it's crazy.
I knew I couldn't make movies, and the only thing I could do at the moment to get stuff out there was shoot videos.
Got you. So I was about to ask, how did the music videos come in as opposed to the more narrative stuff?
And maybe I didn't set it up for success. Like maybe I should have them sit down, and then I should aim the mic at them instead of allowing them to kind of adjust their own microphone. Because like mine is set up to catch my voice without me like trying too hard, but like I know the polar pattern, so it's on me.
So like, how did you even get started? Like somebody says, I want a music video, here's the song. How did you get into that?
Back then or now?
Like, I mean, I want to know back then, and then we can compare it to now, because I imagine now it's different with reinvented pictures. We both got the shirt on. Yeah. Like, I'm sure they gotta come correct now. Like,
yeah, for sure. And I gotta come correct too. Like, I take pride in coming correct. But back then, it wasn't necessarily coming correct. I didn't even understand what all of that was. But yeah, back then it was just more so like run and gun. And then we would kind of get into stories a little bit. But we would be shooting the story while trying to make a story while shooting the video.
Got you. So the storyboard is on the shoot.
On the shoot, we on the fly with it.
Okay, hold up. So if you look back there, that look kind of cool. So stand right there and do the second verse, but then we're gonna do the first verse.
Then you got the random nigga coming around like, "Hey, bro, get my, you feel me? Get my."
Somebody just dancing in the background.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you're not even in the video for real. So they ain't gonna lie, like it kind of got annoying. Just trying to figure out everything on the fly, and then it's like you trying to shoot the video and like figure out a concept of the artist, but you got 60 different directors. Yeah, everybody an expert.
I was about to say, especially when you deal with rappers, because I imagine when they write a song out, they probably are seeing something in their head. Yeah. They're trying to translate that to you, but you're also trying to add your own sauce to it. So, like, if that was the running gun back then, what is it now, and how do you kind of get that to meld together? Because, like, I mean, especially in some of your brother's work, some of Cash's stuff, I'm just like, the video and the music are married right here. Yeah. Like, it's like I can see both of y'all shining through and your lights through, like, the videos and just the way you all put them together. So how does it work now?
It's always a communication-based process.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, before we get on anything, I make sure we on, like, one accord. So I always try to, like, it's like, in the business world, they call it prospecting.
Got you.
But it's just like, I just sit down with my people and I try to figure out what they want.
You got to have that brainstorm beforehand. We ain't doing 6 directors on shoot no more. No, we got to have one unified vision.
We got a vision. Cause like once.
Man, shout out to my editor, Dupree. He makes these episodes so interesting.
Like how they used to be watching show up with a camera. Run around twisting that mug in my hand.
It's like, bro, but this will look dope if I just like do this a couple times.
Tweaking with it.
You jump
like
that way,
before I had him as an editor, I was trying to like get the podcast almost more to being more like flowed, so that I could kind of run straight through and it didn't need an edit. But now that method of writing the show with him actually being an amazing editor who can tell a story different than what's given. Man, he's making these episodes great. The next season is going to be so cold, y'all don't even know. Y'all have no clue.
Dope in my opinion. Like people who can do it, I'm just like, how are you, using these scenes and then adding your own creativity to show something new? Because you can always see the vision when somebody puts together a storyboard correctly. And like, how is that process when dealing with, somebody who wrote a song, months ago and they already have something? Like, do they get involved in that process with you, or do you kind of just like do the brainstorm and then come back with it?
if I make sure they had no ideas first,
Mhm.
because I like to be efficient. So it's like I don't want to make something. They be like, wait, I want to do this. It's like, you got anything you picture for that video? And then like one person who really be having stuff, Cassius for sure be having stuff.
Mhm.
Sometimes he don't though, but a lot of times he be having stuff like his Better You promo. He for sure be having it.
Yeah, I was
Even though,
about
like,
to
we
say
wrote
that
a streaming
promo
for a
right
video,
now,
though.
like just the videos are so beautiful, and it
Yeah.
just is
We
so
working on
good
we
with
got
that
some
music.
stuff,
Man, I'm so excited, bro.
It's crazy. But like he be knowing sometimes he be knowing YV he be knowing too a lot. Even if he don't know the whole vision.
Jawan gives some real good sauce in that episode about how him and his brother are going about the new way of handling shooting videos and like allocating budgets for them. You guys got to check that episode out. That's the most recent episode, so go watch that one. I don't want to just stream that whole thing here for you. I might watch one more before I get out of here, but I am not gonna be up here much longer. Trying to see. I don't want to watch one of the Zoom episodes. I know what we'll do. We're gonna watch the. We did a series with Christian Jalan, and we went to Garfield Park Conservatory, and we asked her questions about her project. It was really cool. It was an on location with the Miseducation. It was really cool. She had the idea, and we added some sauce to it. And it just came out so beautiful. It was edited and shot by the homie Anwar. Oh my God, he did such a good job. It's not even funny. Shout out Anwar Asante for that. Let me find where these videos are. Here we go. We're gonna burn these 3 episodes down. Once again, shout out to Anwar for these. He did these edits. This is before I knew a single thing. Shout out. Before it happens, I need to shout out some more people. Rodrigo was on set that day. Thank you so much for that. Bobby was on set with us that day. Thank you so much for that. Just, man, we really got that done. And shout out Alex, man. He's also in here, too, asking some dope questions. But, yeah, let's watch these. All audio by me, of course. I'll tell you some behind-the-scenes stories as we watch these, too, because it's a little bit wilder than you think. Each of these episodes incorporates a singing portion that we did on location, and I had to record them out of a bag and hand her a mic, and I had a laptop and an iPad. It was the craziest ordeal ever, but listen to how good the audio is. I love mixing in weird situations, and every one of these episodes we're recording in a place that is not normal, so love these.
Wish I didn't have to see your face, trying hard to forget your voice.
Oh, there's lag.
I'm so sick of the way I feel, but that's what I get for being caught up on someone who don't belong to me. I just gotta let go. I just gotta let this thing go. I just gotta let go. I just gotta let this thing go.
Let me see if pausing it will help the not be laggy. I don't know what's causing the lag. It's pissing me off, but the mouths aren't lining up the words.
Hello, we're
Hi.
here.
That
Christian.
audio cut is not great.
My name is
I'm aware.
Alex from the Miseducation of Music. We're here at the Conservatory at Garfield Park. First of all, I just want to know a little bit about this location that you picked for us to, film this this emotional affair video. What's so special about this place to you?
So
summer of 2019, I just found myself here a lot, and at that time, I was going through some pretty hardcore emotions from a completely different situation than what Emotional Affairs is about. But I really, I'm grateful for this space because it allows for me to feel a sense of peace that I might not get to feel in my own space or just
the conservatory
outside.
gets so
It is a
packed. We are
completely
so
different
lucky
atmosphere when
that
you walk
day
in,
was so
and get
chill.
to breathe in some of just everything, the way that they take care of these plants and the way that they allow these plants to just continue to grow in this space. And then outside, even, I know it's winter right now, but outside is so beautiful with, you have all the different fish, the turtle, everything. It's just a really, really peaceful atmosphere.
Right. When you say that they're allowed to grow here, that makes me think of your EP being allowed to grow. I do like that. So I want to talk about the first track, Let Go. Pretty heavy, but it is, to me, sort of a positive step in the positive direction of sort of an EP that might be a little sad at times. It is, in itself short, but to me it felt like, less is better.
Yeah,
like,
Rod, shout out to you
this
again
was
in the
only
comments
3
there. You
songs,
were
but
there
it felt
holding
like the
lights,
whole
man.
world that I stepped into.
You're actually
the
holding
first song,
bounces for us. It's dope.
Did you sort of want to mix sort of positive energy with negative energy? Because it is sort of a sad song, but you did bring a little bit of light to it.
So I made a vow to myself a long time ago that in every song that I make, regardless of the topic, there has to be a glimpse of hope.
Yeah.
Especially if this song is sad or comes from a sad situation. So all of my songs are very honest and real. And
I've thought 100 different ways of how to bring this series back in some sort, but I never found one that I liked enough. Hopefully it comes back in a way.
Right. And did you write these songs in order? Because it seems like so like well thought out, like each song, or were they out of order? Or?
They were not out of order. They were in fact in order, but I wrote them according to every instance that happened in the emotional affair that I was in. I made sure that it sounded like a storyline.
I do love how it's called Emotional Affair rather than Love Affair, because I do like that.
Oh,
so, yeah.
That's crazy. Actually, when I came up with the title, I was like, okay, Mom, I need you to choose between Emotional Affair or Affair of the Heart. And she was like, Emotional Affair, because how you feel is not completely in your heart. I was like, I like that. Okay, so we chose Emotional Affair.
Nice. All right, guys, you guys can go stream Emotional Affair wherever you guys stream music. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We did 3 episodes for this, one for each of the songs. So that was the first one. The second one is just me interviewing, and the third one we both interview. But let's dive into the second one. Once again, shout out to everyone who helped make these happen. Because, man, let me tell you, that's another reason why. Like, I need to, if I were to do this again, I need to figure out a way to do it way better. Like, this was one of those, you could tell that this was the first time we were trying this. And it just happened to work out very well because of good editing, good direction, good questions, and amazing singing. I'm not sure if this one might be my favorite.
Gave me anything worth holding on to. My friends, my family warned me against you. I should have listened, should have known better for myself.
Oh no. It's freezing. I'm gonna go back. This is my favorite song off of that project. Also, I do not recommend mixing live, like trying to record. Let me just say that, period, with AirPods. But you use what you have to when you're on set.
On me against you. I should have listened, should have known better for myself.
That is like 3 Chicago hats ago
We
in
got
my
caught
life.
up in our own game. What a shame.
if you just, man, where all of us who helped on this project are now, like as far as like Anwar with his video, because now he like has a really dope job working doing production stuff, and then just like I don't know, me and where I'm at with
Hello,
audio,
I'm J-Treb
totally
with the
different place
Miseducation of
than
Music,
this.
and we are here in Garfield Park Conservatory with Christian Jalan
Hi.
talking about Emotional Affair, man. This
Yeah.
EP is so amazing to me. I want to start off by saying that. But as we were talking about, this does not sound like regular Christian Jalan. This is a completely different vibe compared to Vinyl Love and things of that nature. What was the inspiration for making this one a little bit?
I for some reason
darker,
love saying things of that nature. Why? I can't tell you, but I say it everywhere.
At hand. Musically, what happened, actually, I didn't plan on writing about it at all. But this young man, Elijah Chisholm, he is the producer of everything except for the second half of Forward on Emotional Affair. He sent me this production, and I was like, wow, I like this. And so, literally, I was at church when he sent it, but I was sitting at the secretary's desk. I took me some sticky notes, a pen out her drawer, and I just got to writing, and I was like, yo, I'm going to have something for you by the end of this week. And he kept sending different productions. He was like, see if you can write to this, see if you can write to this. And I was like, I rock with this. So really, I would have to admit that with the help of his production, is how we came out with something so much more dark.
Well, you know, I mean, like, so I think I'm thinking more dark because we're about to talk about the second song, which is Blocked.
Yeah.
And that song on there, that's the real meat of the track there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the meat of the EP. That's
Everybody's favorite song. I hate
that
song.
Oh, no, I love it. We've used it as the outro on the Miseducation. That's how much we love it. But when you listen to the project, you also have the demo version. Now, my question here is, why'd you end up going with the version that is the full version instead of the demo where it was light, airy, like it sounded real nice? It almost sounded like we were here.
True. So actually, when Elijah had sent me the production for the demo, I had that first, and so I came up with Blocked for that one. I was like, I need to come up with more lyrics, but the second production, which is the full version of Blocked, that's where the lyrics actually like poured out. You never gave me anything. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's what I was about to say. I was gonna say the lyrics in there. Those are intense. Like that one. That's one that you just feel like everybody can relate to that one. It's crazy because you're like, I still like you, and I'm mad that I'm still trying to get back with
because
you.
you ever just gave somebody your energy and it was just the wrong idea. Like this is the
and
worst
you're like, I
idea
gave you too
did.
much energy to not get something back, so now I gotta block you, and I'm mad that I gotta block you.
Because you were a pretty decent person. You feel me? Outside of all of that, but yeah.
That's so crazy. Go check out Emotional Affair by Christian Jalan, streaming everywhere right now.
Yay.
The next one definitely the best recording for the audio that day, because she murders this song in this little location right here. Just the way the light hits, the way the track hit, it all just lined up right here for this one. I'm glad this was the third one.
Taking myself back, leaving you right where I found you. This space was never good for either of us. You can't make a love song out of this ain't a flower that should bloom. It's gonna die just as soon as it does. I'm exhausted being honest. We should let go
when we were on set recording this, everybody had chills, bro. Bro. She killed that. She killed that one, dude. Yeah, this was the third interview. I think it's me and Alex on this one.
Hello, I am J-Treb.
And Alex.
From the Miseducation of Music, and we are here talking to Christian July.
Man, I've lost weight.
EP. This is a great EP.
Just noticing that about myself here.
And we did talk individually about the first two songs, but we had to get together to talk about the last one.
Yes.
So this is Forward. This is the one where, no lie, I'm cutting onions, man. Like tears.
The whole thing, I'm cutting onions.
Tears down the face. I'm like, this is so beautiful. And then it has.
I wish I would have
beat
taken
switch,
the laptop
because,
out
you
of
that the second half
my
screams by somebody different.
lap.
I'm assuming it's Wax.
Yeah.
You talked about him on the podcast.
Bro, her
Wax-
voice
Wax
is so
awesome
mesmerizing,
because
Rod.
I felt Sister Act 2 vibes.
She
on that.
kills
I'm
that
talking
beginning
like
part
came through
so
with
hard.
It. Like it felt like just the keys were so light on there. You flowed on the top of that track almost like you didn't even need the instruments, and it felt like the perfect wrap up. It was the perfect wrap up.
Yeah. It was a perfect wrap up. And that's why I asked you earlier if it was like written in order, but it's just like the way you started it and ended that project was just so perfect. It just felt like, this is the end of whatever this emotional affair is. We need to move on.
Yeah.
But in the process, make this beautiful music. So I'm going through something right now. And that EP just like spoke to me.
Yeah, we did see her at the Saba show, man. I've seen like everybody.
We do that on the podcast all the time.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, but
that's what your
Alex
album
was
did.
out here
Yeah, that's what it
shouting
really
out,
connected.
That's what the EP did.
shouting out girls from his emotional
So,
affairs.
Can you tell us a little bit about Forward? Just about the writing process of that one, because that one I feel was this is like I'm shutting all of this off. I'm moving. You ain't gonna dictate nothing.
So when Elijah sent me the production, which is the first half of Forward, it reminded me of Snow Allegra a lot, and I was like, I like this, and so I came up with the very move forward, and I was like, I have to sing this, so I needed more lyrics, of course, and I wanted it to embody letting go and moving forward. And so then that's when I'm taking.
Man, I gotta find a way to bring this idea back.
I literally just wrote that on a sheet of paper.
This was so
And I
cool,
had
like
to
getting
say-
artists
I wrote it on a
into
napkin
their
in the
vibe,
track.
and then
I had sang it at
asking
the
them
end
about their
a cappella,
project.
And I sent it to first my pianist for my band, Ryan. I sent it to Ryan, and Ryan, he has a career of his own, so he's very, very busy. So he couldn't get it back to me, so I sent it to Wax. And Wax is like, as soon as I heard this, it felt like worship music. And I was like, good, because I wrote it like I was really releasing, because that's how a lot of worship music feels.
Yeah, it feels like you're
Mahalia-
giving that piece.
Yeah.
Like it's like let me throw it all out here.
Like Mahalia Jackson has this quote where she basically says, singing the blues and jazz, it's nice, but I actually feel like I'm letting go of something when I'm singing gospel. And so I was like, I need to really let this go and move forward and be cool and be good about it, because period. I just
Because
need
it's
to.
over.
It's over. It is over. It's done. It's a done deal. So yeah.
Did you feel any closure from this project? Did you feel
Yes.
like it was a closed book? Alex felt so
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you.
I did actually. And does that mean that the other person did? No.
Oh yeah, but that's
But-
on
Does
them.
that mean
That's
more
on
music? Does that mean more music?
It does not mean more
No?
music,
Okay.
because I will not be putting
Alex
any
is
more
like,
energy
where's
into
part
these
two?
things.
Honestly, when I heard it, it was like I felt I got like a teaser to an album. Like
You were
'cause
like, I
can
want an
listen-
album of
I can
this.
listen to a whole like 20-track album about. I'm not, your
That's
process is
an
your process. But I'm a fan, so I'll be waiting for whatever drop. But yeah.
Waiting till it happens.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I got closure. I felt good. I felt like there was an actual release.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us. We're at Garfield Park Conservatory with Christian Jelon. Go stream Emotional Affair everywhere now, and we're out.
Peace.
I'm pretty sure your name. Yep, Rodrigo Correa. They're on the screen, man. Yeah, let's let the credits run that time. I wanted everybody to see your name there, Rod. You were on that set. Very helpful that day. Yeah, I think that's all of the content of mine that I am gonna be running today. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other content I want to run through. We've watched a crap ton. Let's watch one of the new videos. We'll watch one of the Let Me Explains. So if anybody is in here, this is a new video series. I'm still working on more scripts for this. This was a pilot. I dropped it a couple months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago. This was a pilot for it. The reception was decent. So I'm gonna make more of these. There are more scripts on the way. But this was the first one about Kids Bop, and I just want to watch it because I don't think I've watched it since I dropped it, since I edited it. And also, this is my editing. So everything we've watched today has either been my trash editing from the past or it's been my amazing editor edited by Tipri. But this is my editing in the year 2022. If it's terrible, you can always tell me in the comments. I'm not afraid.
Now, Kids Bop to anybody who was born.
Also, I'm sorry again that the voices have been off for like these last 3 videos. I don't know what's going on with the audio, or I don't know if that's just on my end, but the it's been lagging mouth to word for my show.
Kids Bop to anybody who was born in the 90s, early 90s, late 90s, was just the epitome of how to ruin a song with a cover. But apparently, they were the shit to the kids who were born in the early 2000s. Let me explain. Now,
I hate that title drop in. That's gotta go.
In the Billboard Top 10, which is insane because I started like research for this video just because I was like gonna listen to some of Kids Bop, see if the tracks were good, kind of compare them to the other songs. But there's no purpose. They're not, and I found out the reasons why they make so much money.
That setup is also now gone.
This is just a crazy
so
story.
that'll
So
this have to be shot in a new way.
I just found out this information. I wanted to make a video about it. Kids Bop started their clean and altered cover run in 2001. Now, this company was started by 2 guys. Their names were Cliff Chinfield and Craig Balsam. The first album had tracks like Oops, I Did It Again, All Star by Smash Mouth, and Bye 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 by NSYNC. Oh, bye, but saying that 4 times in a row sounds stupid. I'm not even going to say it again. The NSYNC song. But they were taking songs that were popular the year before or a few years before, and their whole goal was to just make a version that parents felt comfortable buying. And it's genius, but it breaks down deeper. Now, for example, this process worked by getting a song. Let's take, for example, All Star by Smash Mouth. That was the hit song from the movie Shrek, and Shrek is known for using the music in the movie, and kids loved this movie. But Smash Mouth is not a kid-friendly group, so they just have kids sing the songs, repackage them to sell to the parents. Same thing with Oops, I Did It Again. If it's kids in the store and they want to hear Oops, I Did It Again and they want to buy a Britney Spears record, but the parent looks over at the newsstand and it's got some crazy 2000s Britney Spears headline, they're going to go buy their kid this other version of the song. So the entire goal was to just target the pockets of the parents. Now, Kids Bop just noticed something that we all knew. Kids are going to listen to the songs that they like, and they want to hear the songs that are on the top 100, even if they aren't for their age range. But Kids Bop capitalized on it by making terrible versions, in my opinion, but just my opinion, because apparently these kids either love these songs or just listen to them so much that Kids Bop became a huge thing. Now, I want to back it up and talk about these 2 guys who started this company, because you're not even going to get, it's crazy how they even got involved in it. Now, the 2 guys I was talking about, Cliff and Craig, they started a record label called Razor and Tie in 1990. And with this record label, their whole goal was to repurpose and reissue old songs. So if you were, once again, one of the 90s kids like me, and you used to see the commercials on TV with all of the best of the 70s, all those early 2000s commercials where you fell asleep on the couch and you woke up and they were on, or the best hits, and you just see these rolling music videos. Their company made those, and I'm sure you can already see how Kids Bop is already that. It takes from that Now That I Call Music
Streaming
formula,
stopped that
but they're not
entire
taking the
industry,
real
man.
songs,
Like,
the
that
same way how
industry
they
is
weren't
now
doing
just
it originally
playlist.
with these other reissued ones. They did this for 11 years before they came up with the idea for Kids Bop, and when they did come up with the idea for Kids Bop, they dropped compilations altogether. They changed the focus to artists and actually being a label, because now they just would pick up different artists who were young kids who they knew they could get to sing these songs. And they had in-house people who would alter these songs immediately as they came out, so they were turning over songs and didn't even have to ask artists for permission for them. Back to the money of Kids Bop. Kids Bop has 40 albums. They have 21 million albums sold and 4.5 billion streams. They are not only the largest kids music, they have been for years, and there's literally no competition next to them. And since they don't have to ask for it because they use this compilation setup that they were using before, and they don't have to ask these artists, they only have to pay them royalties. So they started touring with the Kids Bop kids, because now they could make even more money if they treated it like real artists, like a touring group, but they're not using their own songs, and it all worked out because all they had to do was pay their royalties and then send Kids Bop on tour, sell merchandise, and all these other things. Kids Bop is an empire at this point, and it's all crazy because it was literally just an idea started by two people who were making best of the 70s compilation.
The biggest disadvantages of making these episodes is it's very hard to talk about different shit for like 2 weeks when you're writing them. And I know that that must suck for people who talk to me on like a daily basis.
Because they said that the themes were still there and there was no way they could get around it. And Kids Bop actually listened and they took the song off, which I'm sure gives them more credit on the artist side of things. But in my opinion, as a music listener and someone who was young but not young enough to enjoy Kids Bop, they were just ruining music, in my opinion. It was just so bad and so rough to hear them like just sing their way through these songs. And I don't blame the kids. I don't blame any of the singers that they had. I really just blamed the idea in its entirety. The only thing that they gave us that was good was Zendaya, but I'm not even gonna say they really did that because she got her start on Disney, and that's where more people know her from. So like her Hot and Cold cover is not the reason why I think she went on to be in Spider-Man and Euphoria and all these other things. So Kids Bop in its entirety, to wrap this up, is just such a machine of money, and I think that it's not even supposed to be good. I think Kids Bop is honestly, the whole purpose, honestly, is just parents, here's an alternative. Like, here's the alternative to buying your kids the other music. And I mean, maybe the parents enjoy this, but as a kid, I don't think I would, because you have to know it's not the original. I think they never have them hit the same way. There's no way that it has that same feeling when it comes from Kids Bop. But hey, let me know. Let me know. Hey, if you have a Kids Bop song that you think hits just as hard as the original, put it in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure to like it. And if you want to share this video, go ahead and share it. I'm going to try to make more videos like this where I'm breaking down things where I honestly just sit at home and think about, because I wanted to know how Kids Bop even worked. And now I know, and it's insane. There's no way to stop it. There's just no way to stop Kids Bop from grabbing all this music. I don't think they will ever stop until like Kids Bop 512. So hey, thank you for watching. Once again, hit the subscribe button if you like this. I'm gonna have more content like this. Make sure to share it if you enjoyed it, and hey, maybe check out some other videos. I have a podcast about music. You can check that out. I'll put it on the screen, like here, over the screen here. I'll put it there. And then like I also have breakdowns on samples. You can watch those too. Those are gonna be on there. So hey, thank you for watching. I'm gonna make more like these. These are just gonna be the more rambly videos about the random things. And if you stayed this long, thank you. I'm out.
We're gonna watch one of those sample breakdowns, but I'm probably gonna get kicked off YouTube. So if I get kicked off YouTube, I'm not restarting the stream. I know Twitch will let it run. But yeah, we're gonna watch one of the sample breakdowns before I get out of here, and that'll really be the last thing I do. The sample breakdown with the most views is Comfortable But I think the sample breakdown I like the most is probably Just Friends. So I don't know which one to watch to end this out. Well, let's end with the one with the most views. Let's see why it's got the most views. It's probably just because it's Lil Wayne.
Yo, what's up? It's J-Treb and welcome back to another sample breakdown. Today we're going to talk about those drums you're already hearing in the background, and I know you know that sample. And if you
we're actually not going to watch this one. See, I was right. I didn't want to watch that one. I want to watch one that's got like a crazier stuff. Neighbors by J. Cole. I want to watch one that's going to make you kind of
Kendrick Lamar, one of the
gasp or think a little bit more than Comfortable. Comfortable's cool, but look it up. That one's cool. But Neighbors is way cooler. Wayne's brothers involved. Let's see if it plays.
Yo, what's up? It's J-Treb and welcome back to another sample breakdown. Today we're going to talk about the track you're hearing in the background, but we're going to go much deeper than you're thinking. So strap in and get ready for another sample breakdown.
I guess the neighbors think I'm selling dope.
Now the track you're hearing in the background is the second single from J. Cole's For Your Eyes Only, Neighbors. Now this track is well known as well as it debuted at number 13 on the Hot 100, but Cole told us something deeper on the tour about this track. He let us know that it was just a reversal of a song from his sophomore album, Born Sinner. So when you play that in reverse, you hear that beat come out of Forbidden Fruit.
Man.
Now the third
Dude,
single
flip
from Born Sinner is
same
Forbidden
thing Kanye
Fruit,
did for
produced by J.
Comfortable.
Cole himself with a chorus from Kendrick Lamar, one of the very few songs you actually hear J. Cole and Kendrick on together. And this song is actually crazy because it has a crazy story behind it. Now, what happened was J. Cole actually couldn't get a clearance for a Jimi Hendrix song, but he wanted to use a sample.
That microphone
So he
I'm
just
using is
said
actually
sample
not that
Electric
bad. I
Relaxation
really like
from
that
Tribe
mic.
Called Quest. That is where you hear that beautiful melody in the background. You hear those
This is
clickers of
before I
keys that
did
vibrate.
better
All
ducking
of that
on the
came from
background
Electric
audios as
Relaxation
well.
by Tribe
The
Called
newer
Quest.
episodes
And
sound
this
better.
song is familiar for numerous reasons.
Stay
Now,
tuned
if you
in.
watch
These
seasons
episodes
1
get
and 2
better
of the
every
Wayans
episode
Brothers, you would have
of
heard
everything
this
I
song as the
create.
intro for both of those seasons.
Maybe not
Electric
better than
Relaxation
Cable,
by
but
Tribe Called
you
Quest
gotta watch
is
that
from
one to
their
find
album
out why.
Midnight Marauders. And this song is very unique, and actually it has this weird rap flow back and forth that Tribe Called Quest was known for, but it was unique here because Fife and Q-Tip actually wrote each other's verses. Along with being a writer, Q-Tip was also a producer on this song. He made this song in Fife Dog's
Okay,
grandma's
I know I
basement,
said that's the last
and
one,
Phife
but we're gonna watch Piece of My Love.
sampling not only this beat, but just also
This is the most recent one because I know this one has better audio than the last one. Then I'm really out of here. I've been streaming for like 2 hours and 15
Yo,
minutes.
what's up? It's
I
J-Treb
did
and
not
welcome
intend
back
to.
to another sample breakdown. Today we're going to be talking about that song you're hearing in the background, Piece of My Love by Guy. But we're going to talk about a few notable songs that have sampled it since it came out. Let's dive in. Now, Piece of My Love is a track that sits at the center of the debut album by the R&B group Guy. This album was produced by Teddy Riley, group member and founder of New Jack Swing himself. Now, the rough tracks for this album were recorded in Teddy Riley's mom's basement, and the album went on to become double platinum, as well as a major staple for this New Jack Swing that you hear just throughout the entire time period. Teddy Riley is credited as not only the founder of that, but this group alone just laid the blueprint for so many amazing songs to come from it. From the things that you hear in the background, such as these intense bass notes, these clicks, these pops, all of these amazing sounds that create an R&B landscape that we just knew in the 90s. All of these are placed on this album right here. You can hear how many sounds were derived just from listening to Teddy Riley's production that he laid down here. From the moment this beat comes on, you're completely enthralled with this rhythm, and I believe that that is why Big Sean decided to use it on Play No Games featuring Ty Dolla $ign and Chris Brown as the sample for that track. Play No Games is one of the singles from Big Sean's Dark Skies Paradise and is nothing short of a 90s nostalgia trip. From the video, which depicts Martin in all of its 90s glory, including Martin Lawrence himself, to just the track and how they've just melodically combined in all of the elements from the original Piece of My Love. Sampling not only this beat, but just also the energy of the male R&B vocal of the 90s, Chris Brown and Ty Dolla $ign add to this track to give it the nostalgia that we all feel when we watch the video or we hear the track get played. Now, I did some research, and the sample chop credit actually goes to John J. Henry. From what I found, John J. Henry chopped up this sample, this beautiful Piece of My Love Guy sample, and gave it to Key Wayne, who is a producer that we know from many big shows.
Man, you know, for anybody who's in here before we get to the end of this video, thank you all for tuning into this stream, yo. If you all liked any of those awesome videos you saw, you can tune into the Miseducation of Music, which is a weekly podcast that I drop where I interview rappers in the city and I discuss amazing music that's happening. And then in addition to that, you can also tune into my Twitch. So if you're watching on Twitch right now, you can sub to me on Twitch, you can follow me on Twitch. I edit all of these videos on there. So these sample breakdowns that you're seeing right now, I edit those on Twitch. I also edit the 30-second samples, which is a shorter version of this that drops on YouTube Shorts as well as on Instagram. Man, thank you all for tuning in. I am J-Treb. We're going to watch this last part because it's crazy, but I wanted to give him a little exit right now.
Southern swag on top of it from Big Crit, giving us these elongated syllables while he's rapping and just giving this flow just such an amazing, different dynamic than what it had before. Now, Lloyd is our staple here that keeps us involved in this guy rhythm and this pattern. He holds that pattern there. He holds that same Piece of My Love energy, so when you hear the song, you almost feel like you can sing the original to it. But the reason why the song is called 1999 is actually a salute to Manny Fresh, Lil Wayne, and Juvenile. Lloyd's chorus is Back That Ass Up Like It's 1999, which is a salute to none other than those who took over the 99 in the 2000s, Cash Money Records, specifically Manny Fresh, who's also the producer of this Piece of My Love flow. So not only do you hear this sample perfectly used to break down this amazing 90s song, you also hear the inspiration from the chorus coming out in the beat, because Manny Fresh is also the producer of Back That Ass Up by Juvenile. Known for his work with Cash Money and Young Money.
They use the same producer. That's how you salute a sample. You use the same producer as the one you're using the vocal sample from, and then you sample fucking Teddy Riley? Come on, man.
And maybe you know some facts that I don't. Make sure to tell me those in the comments too. Make sure to...
Fun fact, nobody might get this. I'm about to definitely like leave on this note too. I'm not even gonna say anything else. But if you ever seen the movie Ready Player One, there's a crazy part where the dude Nolan Sorrento is like, we can use 80% of a user's visual space, like, and they were blocking the people's visors who were in this VR world with ads. That's how I feel when I berate people at the end of videos to watch my